Muted. Welcome back to Derailed. I am your host, JJ Lahey, here with my good friend, Jake Schyvinck, the draft robot. We are here to celebrate something. It's the 1-year anniversary of an event that honestly will change, has changed, is changing the course of American history. I'm not talking about the inauguration of the current president. I'm talking about the 1-year anniversary of when the goof cart chick tried to murder Ryan Day.
Ryan Day, you deserve it, brother. Thank you. Thank you. It's okay. It's okay.
It was a huge moment in American history. I think we all remember where we were.
Everybody okay? Everybody okay?
For me, the best part of that was how, as soon as she realizes that it's not going to move, she bails and sprints off the scene, saying, "Sorry about that." Just
fantastic work.
Exits, and the goof cart no longer had a driver at that point.
Yeah,
I'll always
gone full
remember where I
goof
was.
Cart with no driver, like one of those Waymo cars.
I am. Listen. We don't often like to give free advertising. All right, but we joke a lot about redacted energy, right? And listen up, company, right?
Redacted energy.
Ghost. I'm wearing the hat. Here's the thing. They still aren't giving us money. They're still not sponsoring this show. So we're giving them a little taste of what it would be like if we were wearing their merch and not blurring out the logo on their products and consuming their products online on the stream, right? We're giving them a taste of what it would be like. I do have our Mark Murphy minute of the week.
Okay, good.
Jake, are you ready for this?
I was going to have one if you did not.
Oh, you know what? I guarantee yours is better than mine. So I would like you to go first, and then I'll go. You go first, and then I'll go.
Okay. All right. JJ, did you see that? I know you saw this. Okay.
Sure I did.
Packers made some moves today. The Packers made some moves. they released Trayvon Diggs, obviously. Right,
let's just talk about that. You know what? This is good.
No,
We'll just talk about that. We can. I can do an hour on Trayvon Diggs.
Sorry, I can't.
If we can avoid talking about Honda McCord.
No. So they obviously were going to release him, right? You know, whatever it was, 15.5 million he was going to be owed in 2026. In sort of a corresponding move, we have a futures contract. The Packers have signed quarterback Kyle McCord to a futures contract. So in camp, we could see Jordan Love, Desmond Ridder, Kyle McCord. Just saying.
Yeah. I knew that Gutekunst would not be able to help himself. I mean,
it's too good.
I was honestly surprised that Goody didn't draft him. Am I off base when I say Honda McCord is awful?
Well, he played for a school that, you know, inside of you there are two wolves. So
this is true.
He did play for that. And so that can be really good, really bad.
I think inside of Honda McCord are two coyotes.
Well, maybe.
That's what I think.
Perhaps.
You got the coyote who yips and howls, and you got the coyote who eats roadkill. All right,
I was going to say the coyote who runs away if you make noises, but yes.
Or maybe the coyote maybe he's the coyote who goes up to inspect the Acme bomb after it didn't go off and kill the Roadrunner, and then it blows up in his face. Maybe that's who he is. Toolfit wants to know, what is a futures contract? I forget why they call it a futures contract.
I have
give us the definition.
So yeah, what this is, because I know you always sign a bunch of these pretty much the day or two after you get eliminated,
favorite thing
right?
to do every year.
Which the Bears did 15 of them today. So, you know, they're definitely doing this. Happens plenty. It's It's a contract that secures a player to the team for the future, but the player's not officially under contract until the start of the following league year, right? Which would be
so
I don't know when that is, sometime in March,
right?
When that officially starts. So
yeah, that makes sense because right now the
negotiate with
roster
anyone
limit
else
is
right now.
53, but once the new league year starts, it goes up to 90. I was actually having a conversation about this with somebody yesterday. We were talking about like football pet peeves, and I said that it bugs me when like the day your team's season is over, a lot of people immediately start calling the season that just concluded the day before last year, and they start calling the year that has not started yet this year. And I said, like,
fair,
maybe this is just I don't know, maybe this is just me obsessively counting toothpicks or something, but there is an official beginning and end to the league year. And when the NFL says, hey, it's the new league year, at that point, I start saying this year and last year, as opposed to, next year. Like to me, 2026 to 2027 season is next year because season ain't over yet. All right.
Right. There is still football going on.
There's still 3 more games.
Right.
Well, there's still 2 more games, and then the Patriots have to, go out there.
Well, we'll see. You never know. As the great Nick Foles.
Yeah. I'll tell you, this has been a week for tweets.
The Patriots struggle in championship level games against backup QBs. We know this.
It's true.
Nick Foles, Eli Manning, right? So.
Oh my gosh. That's good. This has been the week.
I had to do that. It was too easy.
All right. Agenda. Real quick. Okay. Agenda. I'm going to share a good tweet, maybe a couple. Then we're going to get caught up on some of the chats, and then we're going to talk about defensive coordinators, right? That's the agenda.
We got to talk at the end about the story of maybe our lifetimes as well.
There's a few that could
went
be.
Down last night. That went down last night. That is, we got to talk about.
So
that if we have time.
In reference to that, I want to trying to figure out if I can see who said it because I want to give them credit. But I tweeted, the average age of the Indiana Hoosier 2025 roster compared to the average age of the 2024 Green Bay Packers roster. Because the Hoosiers were super old. They were the average age was 23 for a college roster. That's crazy.
It is.
And I mean they have a man on that roster who played with Trevor Lawrence at Clemson. All right. Trevor Lawrence has not played college football in 6 years. Here we go. My guy MJ at Tesk EMG. He said that I heard there's Indiana players who have kids of their own who are 4-star recruits in high school.
Heck yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Okay. We had the chat saying in this picture you look like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I would say I'm seeing Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan right there for sure. Maybe a little bit of Phantom Menace Obi-Wan as well. Of course, minus the facial hair, but I see it for sure. This is a great look for you. It's just your look, but I think there's like a determination in the eye there that is very Ewan McGregor-esque.
Yeah, I see that. I feel like it's like a Ewan McGregor. Oh man, there was one that I was thinking of. I lost it.
The audio only crowd is missing out. If you listen to this podcast via audio, go to derailedfootball.com. It'll take you to our YouTube page. Look at the thumbnail for this episode, and you'll see what we're talking about. All right, picture of Jake in there. He looks like he's about to pull out his lightsaber.
There's JJ, yours is. I was thinking about yours too when I saw the thumbnail, and there's a Tony Stark and something else combination that I forgot now. There was a bearded combination with Tony Stark that I couldn't get out of my head either now. And
who I see when I look at that picture is I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name. David Harbour, who plays Sheriff Hopper So I think in season 4 and 5, or maybe just 5, he's got the really long beard. And I kind of see it there. I kind of see it there. Tool for this wants to know if there are any defensive-minded college head coaches that could be good in the NFL. That guy from North Carolina is an interesting character.
Yeah, Unk.
I don't know if he could hack it in the NFL. You know, he seems very comfortable hanging around younger people. And I just don't know how he'd do in the NFL.
Right, yes. Oh, man.
Adam Huddle. Hello, Adam.
We were really close to going off the rails. I'm glad I just shut up because there was.
I think I know what you're about to say.
Yeah, there was. I think I know what you're there, and I'm glad we didn't go there. Anyway,
is it a slight variation on me saying he's very comfortable around?
Yeah, no, it's
young
yeah,
people?
no, yeah, we're just
all right. So Adam Huddle, who
anyway.
We ragged on Adam a little bit last week because he wasn't here, and so he committed to being around more. So Adam, I appreciate that you're here. He said the perfect Packers defensive coordinator, someone with the opposite aura of Jonathan Gannon. Yeah, the Packers did schedule an interview per Mike Garafolo with Jonathan Gannon later this week. Tyler Dershel. Oh, by the way, Tyler Dershel kicked off the Venmo donos super early today. I'm pulling this up so I can get the timestamp. This is hours ago. Okay.
JJ sent me a
2 p.m.
I was gonna say 5 hours.
2 p.m. Central. He sent us a dono. Happy goof cart chick that ran over Ryan Day anniversary. Elite. Mock draft season. Oh, you know we're gonna do a mock draft. I have kind of a specific mock draft in mind. I texted Jake about it earlier.
You did,
and I think it's it. But Dershel says I want my defensive coordinator to start fist fights. Ruben Bain. Yeah, because Ruben Bain's going to be around in the second round when we start picking, right?
No, it's a long move up, you see.
Oh, I would love nothing less than to trade up. Can we not trade up? I would like to trade down. Let's do a lot of trading down.
We would never.
I don't want to trade up.
Unless like one of our guys is like a few picks away, I would move up. Mm-hmm. But we don't sit in like the slow speed box.
Gutekunst gets,
he gets more time to make calls. Okay.
Goody has patience when it comes to playing a game of chicken against a Hall of Fame quarterback. Goody does not have patience when he's sitting there in the draft room watching players he likes get drafted. Chris N says we need a tough guy defensive coordinator to make up for Matt's tenderness. You know what? I feel like that shot is actually warranted because Matt is a man who projects a little bit of tenderness. I think that's fine.
I saw someone in the comments on Twitter today called Matt LaFleur milk toast, but they spelled it milk toast, which is not correct.
Right.
Man, that is Packers Twitter in the last 9 days to a T right there. It's
speaking of things that sound like what you just said. How'd you like that segue? So I saw a video popped up recommended for me on YouTube. Why it was recommended for me, I don't know. But it was milk ham, okay? And so I'm like, what the heck is this? What? I clicked on it. And it said like, hey, you've heard of milk steak, but milk ham is a real thing.
I haven't heard of milk steak.
So that means that you don't watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
No. Why would I ever watch a show about Philadelphia? Can't stand that sports town. Okay? You can miss me with that.
I think half the point of that show is that Philadelphia is a terrible town.
Well,
and then the other half of the point is that the people on the show are terrible people.
I know. I think I know like who's in it. See, United Bates is in the chat as well. What's going on? Professor Cakes also.
Oh man,
looks like we're loading up. Daryl, I saw as
I'm
well.
Still scrolled way up to the top at some of the ones that we missed. Tool for this says,
I know.
I made a joke about this, but honestly, just for the hype, Conor McGregor would be a really fun personality coach. I think Jake, I'm pretty firmly in the camp, and this doesn't apply to like scouts and GMs, but when it comes to coaches, at least position coaches, when it comes to position coaches, I think it is a deal breaker for me that you need to have played that position either at a high level in college or for at least a little bit in the NFL for me to sign off on hiring you as a position coach. That's my stance. Not that there aren't some good coaches who didn't play, but I think this is a deal breaker for me.
Okay.
Oh, let's see. I'm trying to scoot forward a little bit because there's some
There's a
good
lot
ones
going
coming
on.
up. Okay, tool for this says I don't know who. Let me switch views here. My phone here. Okay. I gotta take your comment off so you can see it. All right. I'm gonna read it and then you can see our names. I don't know who Ahmad Motsin is, but
Moten,
based on
of course.
Jake's name, you put a Z. Oh, he put a Z in there.
He
Ahmad
did.
Moten is. But based on Jake's name, he is about to tear his ACL.
There's no more college games left. Can't do it.
All right, Adam Huddle says Raheem, talking about Raheem Morris, seems fine, but I think I'd rather see them go more upside / mystery box in Durante Jones, Christian Parker, or Jim Leonhard.
Jim Kings of Leonhard. Stud.
All right, we're going to talk about all those guys today. That's the thing. We're going to talk about all those guys. Okay, I'm gonna
can I go back
start
up?
comments here.
I know tool for this
Yeah.
is talk about McDaniels. Mike McDaniels
Yeah,
been in
yeah.
the market for a while.
Yeah, read
Lions
this
have
one.
their guy. I'm holding out hope, right? The Lions did hire Drew Petzing as their OC, not McDaniel. I think McDaniel's still kind of holding out for a head coaching gig, which understandable, right? If I were a team where I was like, look like Raiders would be one where I'm kind of like, we're gonna get Mendoza. Genty's going to be there. Bauer's going to be there. Like what McDaniel's done for receiving tight ends in Miami, you have one in Bowers who is infinitely better. You get to design the run scheme for Genty. You have a potential franchise quarterback coming in. Like that would be attractive to me. Also going to Baltimore would probably be pretty attractive for me if I were Mike McDaniel as a head coach, trying to be a head coach again, right? So it does make sense that he's holding out for those. But if he doesn't get either of them, I'm begging, just pounce, just this one time.
I mean, I'm begging
Hafley
for.
can take Steno. We'll even give a couple sevenths, Miami, if you can take him. That'd be great. So they have to hire somebody. That'd be sweet.
I'm debating if it's too early to get into my rants. I have 2 rants attached to this. I think I can get through them quick. All right, first one.
Okay.
Jake, I feel on the Mike McDaniel thing, and like I have publicly said quite a few times, I would love to hire Mike McDaniel as our offensive coordinator. Would love that.
Yeah.
I don't think he would come to Green Bay because I don't think that Matt LaFleur is going to offer an environment that would entice a guy like Mike McDaniel because Matt LaFleur wants to call his own plays. He's not interested in improving the OC process. This is his offense. Mike McDaniel does not want to come here and be a cog in the Matt LaFleur machine and let Matt LaFleur take the credit.
Could be good.
I don't think he'd have fun with that. And I don't think that Matt LaFleur would be able to keep his fingers out of the pie enough for a guy of Mike McDaniel's caliber to not be irritated and frustrated all the time at like the micromanaging, right? That there are places where he could go and be the guy. He could go there and be the guy. This is his offense. He can call it like he wants, install the scheme he wants. And that's not going to happen in Green Bay. I just don't think he would come. I think there's plenty of jobs offering more freedom than what Green Bay would. So that's my one rant. My other rant is I think that
There's a good shout too by Dershel.
Yeah, Dershel says McDaniel's going to go with Saleh.
I think that's worst case scenario for McDaniel, most likely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not bad.
I really thought he was going to be the Browns head coach, and then it was announced today that he withdrew his name from consideration.
Probably the right move.
Jake, have you ever withdrawn your name for consideration from something?
I don't have possibly. Honestly, I don't remember if I have. I think in high school clubs, like as I've probably withdrawn from things of like, no, someone else could be the president or leader or whatever of this.
Yeah,
but I don't think I've ever withdrawn my name completely.
I did one time. I felt like this was like the closest I was ever gonna be to an NFL coordinator or head coach or anything. I was asked to join a board, and then I thought about it after a couple days and called them back up and said, "Hey, I know I said yes, and that you're about to vote on whether to approve me or not, and I am withdrawing my name from consideration." And the response was, "Okay," and then they just hung up, and I was like, yes, I'm important. I feel it. I'm just like Mike McDaniel. Daryl said, I'm going to skip this one for now. We'll come back to these when we're really getting into the DC candidate thing. Adam Huddle says, hey, not many 6'2", 220 plus QBs who will bomb it walking the street. I'm assuming this is Kyle McCord.
That's for the Honda himself.
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur going to win a game with him in 2026. You heard it first.
I will not watch that game. I will not.
First.
Will not watch that. I cannot stand that man. I have watched so much Kyle McCord. He has put me through the ringer. All right.
He has ripped you from good times. He's not gotten you through tough times. He's taken you away from good times. Oh man. I'm gonna show you. Jake. Gotta be one of JJ's least favorite players to ever play the sport.
Oh, it's not even close. Yeah,
Is he in the top 5?
Look.
Oh man.
This right here. Whoops.
Here we go. Getting flashback.
This is me when I just see Kyle McCord's name. All right.
He's got PTSD.
This is me. When the announcement was made that we had signed him, I had a crash out on Twitter.
I was just sitting there. I'm like, oh man, he's gonna love this.
I had a crash out, and dude, the comments were so ticked at me. They're like, "Why do you care about this 4th string quarterback? What did he ever do to you?" And I'm like, "You have no idea. You have no idea what he did to me." Well, for this, talking about futures contracts, can we sign Bisaccia instead of to pass?
That's contract? A fantastic one, to be honest.
Pay them money to go away. I would donate. We need NIL for NFL, and it's where fans can donate to fire awful coaches.
Yeah.
All right. What about the Miami cornerback number 29? He's 6 foot tall and good, I thought. Jake, did you find it entertaining the way? So I think this is OJ Frederick, right? And this is the dude who Kirk Herbstreit could not stop crashing out about. He hated OJ Frederick. Would not stop. It sounded like me and Matt Orzek a couple years ago, or you and Luke Musgrave. He could not. Anytime Frederick even came on the screen, Kirk Herbstreit was crashing out so hard and ranting and telling us every bad thing OJ has ever done in his entire life.
Well,
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that Kirk didn't say that Frederick was the second worst OJ in sports. All right. He was that wound up about it.
I was going to say, yeah, OJ done bad stuff. Yeah, that's not, you don't want to be in the same breath there. He looks like a sophomore. It says, when my name is too old for this, this wasn't referring to playing for Indiana. Nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Very, very good. Very
good. Looks like he's a sophomore from what I can tell. He's listed as 6 foot and 0 on the weight on BFF. he's Danny Phantom is playing corner for Miami.
I have been on a weight loss journey But even I don't want the scale to read 0. All right. That's not the goal. Yeah. All right. United Bates says, "Hey, fellas. Hey, United Bates. Glad to have you in here. Thanks for joining." Professor Cake says, "Philly is a trash city." My dad is he's a pretty casual football fan. I think he would say that. And what game was he watching? I think he was watching the Eagles-Bears game earlier this year because his brother's a Bears fan. And my dad sent me this text. And he was saying, like, man, I feel like Philly might be the worst fan base in the NFL. And he was kind of giving his reasons. And I was like, hey, no, you're pretty spot on. I don't think many people would disagree with you. Probably the worst fan base in the NFL. Not the worst organization. No, it's a good organization. But fan base, I think they would probably win a worst fan base poll.
Probably
just about any time you put it out there, as long as the sample size is big enough.
Yes.
United Bates is talking about It's Always Sunny. He says, I live just outside of Philly and have never watched that show. Maybe I should check it out.
For all the folks flooding in, welcome, by the way. We're up pretty high on YouTube right now.
We got Boz.
No, you're here. Boz is here as well. We're loading up right now. Which means we probably have to talk about like normal stuff, which is really kind of unfortunate, but you know.
No, it's not unfortunate at all because first of all, Iowa Joe put a comment in the chat and he feels like we ignore him. So now is the perfect time, now that I pinned his comment on the screen, for us to change topics. And
you're gonna slap me?
I have a voicemail
slap me?
that was sent into the show. I'm not going to slap you. You must have listened to it.
I listened to it.
You did,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Of course.
All right.
My dad and I were watching the Bears game, right? And I was like, oh, okay, Kyron has gotten in. They got the stop on 4th.
Yeah.
They're going to throw for the first down on 3rd down. I will leave. I will be there in time. And then they
did you go live after the game ended? Is that what happened?
No.
Because I did make so the context, everybody. Iowa Joe has a podcast. Last week he invited me and Jake to go on it Sunday night. We both said yes. I showed up late because the Bears game went into overtime, and I texted Joe and I said, for obvious reasons, I'm not going to be there on time. I am glued to my TV. And then once the game was over, I still needed about 2 or 3 minutes to run around my living room screaming the Bears still suck. Then I was ready to get on the podcast. Yeah. But I have a voicemail. We put the phone number out there.
Okay.
Last week, asked people to call. We have a voicemail.
All right, let's listen.
Hey, JJ. Hey, Jake. It's Dershel. Just wanted to call and give you my quick hot take on what's going to happen with the Packers coaching staff for 2026. I haven't seen this prediction out there, but I actually think all 3 coordinators are going to be gone in some sort of capacity for. Hey, JJ. Hey, Jake.
Oh, no, Dershel. I didn't think that it would interrupt
the call and give you my quick hot take on what's going to happen.
Try to just play a fart in the middle of it. I didn't think it would restart 2026.
I haven't seen this prediction out there, but I actually think
trying to make people think
3
that
coordinators are going to be gone.
Yeah, that was
in some sort of capacity for the Packers. Obviously, Hafley went to the Dolphins. I think Bisaccia is going to end up retiring. I know there were some rumors last year that he had thought about it, and I think he actually pulls the trigger this year. And then I think Stenavich is actually going to be gone. I just think there's too many job openings that the chances of him getting poached are just too high. So
they do need water boys.
3 coaches that I think are going to take over those positions, and I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this. I try to go realistic because we know that Matt LaFleur likes to hire some familiarity and some friends of his. So this is not what I would want to do, but what I think he's going to do. For DC, I think it's Christian Parker. There's obviously that connection from, I think it was 2019. He's a fast riser. I think he's just going to fit perfect for what they want.
We can live with that.
For special teams, I'm going a little out there because I think they also need someone with some experience. And I think they're going to go with Chris Tabor, the Bills special team coordinator. Obviously, McDermott's gone, so I think he's going to leave. One of his longtime assistants was actually Sean Menenga. So I think there's that connection there that'll allow him to come in, provide some stability with a veteran presence, some previous head coaching experience. And then the hottest of the hot take, I think they're bringing back Nathaniel Hackett for OC. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. And kind of go.
I hate that. Thanks, guys. 1,000% out. All right, Dershel, I appreciate you calling. I don't appreciate you saying that name on this podcast.
How dare you?
Brian Maffey thinks, he told us this in the group chat, that, in fact, he said this is as good as a done deal. He said Mike Vrabel is going to come be the special teams coach for the Packers.
Yes.
Brian Maffey said that.
I wanted to reply that in the chat so bad. Oh, man.
Brian, if you're here.
Brian says, I heard an interesting rumor about Vrabel. And I was like, oh, man. I really wanted to. I thought about saying, oh, my God.
Do you want to just read it out loud? You want to just read the exchange with some timestamps? How about some timestamps so there's full context?
So this was yesterday about 7:40 Lambeau time.
Yeah.
Brian Maffey says, I heard an interesting rumor about Vrabel. Well, I should say is probably happening. I heard an interesting rumor about Vrabel that is probably happening, essentially.
Yep.
And JJ put in it looks like an Always Sunny gif of can you be
more
specific?
Yeah, it's Danny DeVito.
And Brian said, can you be more happy? Iowa Joe says, well, we're waiting. And then radio silence. The next post of the chat is Kawano talking about accounting.
So I had to read between the lines, and I realized Brian Maffey is saying Vrabel's going to be our special teams coordinator.
Man, he's going to win a Super Bowl. He's going to be bored with that. He's like, all right, who else can I win with now? And he's going to pop on over. So.
Coolfa says maybe he's talking about Jason Vrabel. Here's the thing. Jason Vrabel, in the context of the Packers, makes a lot of sense to be talking about. But if you just say Vrabel, let me see. How did he spell it? Which way did he spell it?
He spelled it the right way.
He spelled it like Jason Vrabel.
He spelled it the right way. Yeah.
Brian Maffey has enough attention to detail. Jason Vrabel. And I did tweet that I'm at least on the fence about moving on from Jason Vrabel. I don't.
Oops.
What is that? How did you
listen?
Do that?
I was trying to go get a sound. From.
I don't see it in our thing. Was that a video? What was that?
No, I switched over to my templates because I was like, I have a breaking news thing over there. Can I bring it over? No, apparently you cannot do that. This is gonna be our breaking news thing. Then it's just a big old gong sound. Since we were talking about breaking news, there is.
Okay.
Yeah. So at least. We were talking about this actually. We mentioned this name a bunch.
I hate this. I love it and I hate it. I love it and I hate it.
Yeah, former Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel is expected to become the Chargers offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
barring a change of heart, per Jeff Darlington and me, Adam Schefter. McDaniel has informed other teams that they're out. The Chargers clearly want him. The two sides are having dinner tonight, but the expectation across the league is that McDaniel will be staying in LA. Wow.
Now, Tom Pelissero, hold on a second.
That's a lot better than Arthur Smith, man. That's a lot better than Arthur Smith.
Tom Pelissero put his own tweet out. He said the Chargers plan to hire Mike McDaniel as their offensive coordinator. McDaniel, however, is still a candidate for the Raiders and Ravens head coaching jobs. But if he is an OC in 26, he's expected to take the Chargers job. So
66% chance he's in the AFC West.
Yeah, that maths.
That's the script writers are having some fun this offseason already.
But do you think the Ravens would actually hire Mike McDaniel. I feel like it's got to be greater than 66 because the Raiders would be much more likely to hire McDaniel than the Ravens.
Probably.
And an OC job is more likely than either of those. So I'd say it's more like 85% chance he's in the AFC West. Can McDaniel also play guard? Name a guard with the last name McDaniel.
They're drafting Yawane, guys. That's who they're drafting. Don't get it twisted.
He's going back to school, man, isn't he?
No.
I think he is.
No.
Nope, he did declare. He declared.
I was going to say,
okay,
because he declared, and also if you weren't in the game last night, you have to have made the call already. If you weren't in the game last night, so yeah, okay, but yes, they probably will. The script writers are cooking. You know, Cohen and Saleh had that really tense exchange post Niners Jags game. Now they get to play each other twice. Baker Mayfield still hates Kevin Stefanski, by the way.
Yeah, I loved that.
And Stefanski's going to Atlanta. They're playing. Obviously, they're going to play against each other twice. And now all of the Tua Herbert debates, right, that have been flung back and forth between like that really, really religious culty Miami Dolphins group who says Tua's better than Herbert and always has been. Now we get to find out who's better with McDaniel running offenses for them. You know, so we are getting.
Do you think there's
some fantastic?
Do you think there is a world where the answer is Tua? Because I don't. Do you think that there is? If there were infinite dimensions, would there be a dimension where Tua is better than
maybe one?
Than Herbert?
Maybe one. But
Chris says Matt LaFleur is retaining everyone, even Richard. He means Rich Bisaccia. He did say earlier.
Even Rich.
Oh yeah, I got interrupted in the middle of my second rant. My second rant was
by the way, too old for this. Hafley is the handling of Tua. Hafley's not. He's not playing. In the words of Hafley, yeah, he's not gonna be here. Regarding Tua, I mean, it opens the door for Quay and Malik Willis both to make jumps to Miami, I think. So,
I was saying,
yeah, that's the dimension, Joe, right there. Yeah.
If Tua didn't get concussed 100 times, yeah. If Hafley were not leaving Green Bay, if somehow he were staying here,
yes, they would win.
Then I think hiring a new offensive coordinator would be on the table. I think the fact that LaFleur has to replace his defensive coordinator means there's no way in the world he's replacing either his special teams coordinator or offensive coordinator. It's just not happening. First of all, I don't think Matt knows or believes that there is a problem with his current offensive coordinator setup.
Well,
he might even really like his offensive staff.
Yeah.
I said yesterday or the day before that, and this is bad, but I said that I'm feeling apathetic toward this defensive coordinator search right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's fully because I have a view of Matt LaFleur right now that is he's living in this complacency bubble where he thinks things are good enough and that maybe it's just been some bad luck and like maybe they just need a little bit better players. I kind of almost don't care who they hire as long as the resume isn't like crap. There is one name being tossed around a lot.
Oh, at DC.
Two names. Yeah, at DC. That I am pretty well out on. And that would actually be DeMarcus Covington. I'm pretty out on that.
I don't think, I would not be ready for that.
Here's my big thing. So DeMarcus Covington was briefly a defensive coordinator in New England. He was an interim DC, right? Was he not? Wasn't he interim?
Was he? I thought he was like actually.
It was only for like a year though that he was the DC.
It was because it was the year they had Gerard Mayo as the head coach, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so he was the DC then last. Yeah, 2024.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
And he was the defensive line coach for 4 years before that, New England, and then the outside linebackers coach the year before that. He's been in New England a long time, but
so first of all, there's not like a fantastic record of guys under Belichick.
Another tree that's
going on to be great, right? Yeah. And so far, all the things that I like
players
about Jeff Hafley
are better. So far, former players are better than the coaching tree.
Fair.
So,
for all the things that I liked about Jeff Hafley as a defensive coordinator, and I really did, he was back in 2020, the year when Jeff Hafley took the Boston College head coaching job. At that point, Jeff Hafley was my number one desire for the Packers defensive coordinator position. And I couldn't believe it when we finally got him in 2024. For all the things that I liked a lot about Jeff Hafley, he didn't really. I loved Matt Patricia.
Who didn't?
For all the things that I liked about Jeff Hafley, and there's a lot, it's not like he really came in and implemented this defensive scheme that a guy like DeMarcus could just take the reins of. All right, the machine that made the Hafley defense work was the brilliant play calling. So, although it's a desirable job, and I think anybody who wants to be a defensive coordinator would be excited for this opportunity. You got Micah Parsons, you got Xavier McKinney, you got Edgerrin Cooper, you might have Quay Walker, you've got Lukas Van Ness.
Wyatt
Williams, got Katana Ladapo. Don't have any corners, but we're going to fix that in the mock draft. Tonight.
No,
in the mock draft later tonight.
Yes. Is Green Bay going to fix it? I don't know.
But you're
Trayvon Diggs
you
and leave
need
it alone.
Somebody to come in with a solid idea of what scheme they're going to run and install it.
Yeah.
And like frankly, the Packers defense and the Packers defensive coaching staff, they don't really have a rock solid scheme that it's just a collection of players and a brilliant play calling. That's what we had. So that's the situation I don't really love dropping DeMarcus Covington onto. And I know he's been here for 2 years. It doesn't give me a lot of confidence that he's just magically the guy to take over.
1 year.
He wasn't here in 24?
No, that's when he was the DC in New England.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
So he's only been here 1 year. So I don't know how
people are talking themselves into this. Like
I don't know how that could be possible for this.
It's a non-starter for me on paper. I'm not Ainsley. I would consider Ainsley.
Yeah, that's I think got more legs to it.
And if you look at the guys who LaFleur seems to be interested in, and this is mostly reported interviews scheduled. Similar to Jeff Hafley, it's a lot of DB coaches. Also, a lot of guys with a history in a 3-4. We've been a 4-3 for the last 2 years. Now, all of a sudden, he's looking at all these guys with a history of a 3-4. And can I ask you, Jake? So the Packers switched to a 4-3, which is my preference. I prefer a 4-3 personally. Either one.
How they were drafting edge rushers, it made more sense at the time. Yes.
One of the thoughts that everybody had when they switched to a 4-3 was that this was going to really help with run defense. Now, I've seen a lot of people recently talking about how that didn't work and how the Packers' run defense was still stinky. I don't really agree. I think we did get noticeably better against the run these past 2 years. I want to hear your answer to that.
About the run defense or just about like the switching?
Under Jeff Hafley, was the Packers' run defense kind of still stinky, or was it an improvement over when they were a 3-4?
I mean,
as a result of moving to a 4-3. As a result of moving to a 4-3.
It was better moving to a 4-3 because of the way I think players could play. Was it great? No. Right? I don't think it was great because I think it was funny early in the season where it was like, oh my gosh, Green Bay's run defense. You see how many rushing yards they're giving up per game? And it's like, yeah, kind of, but they've also had the lead a lot. And so teams haven't been really running when Green Bay's leading in the game, right? So that's part of it for sure. But I mean, I think
there's a couple games, Ravens game notwithstanding, there's a couple of games that do stand out to you. The Panthers game, atrocious run defense.
Both Lions games, the way they controlled Gibbs was outstanding. And I know that the Lions interior wasn't as good. And we talked about that leading up to both games about the Green Bay should be able to control the interior. However, the Lions have still been good when they get Gibbs out to the perimeter. And they tried that in both of those games, and it did not work. And so the way Hafley, I think, made the run defense better isn't so much just tweaking the scheme, right, which I do think helped certain players. I also think the way players bought into tackling and rallying to the football, especially early in the season, was very prevalent, and I think that's why you saw that, right? And
both years under Hafley, that was very noticeable. Yes. That was probably the core identity of the Packers defense, was they swarm to the football and tackle hard.
And it has to continue. And yeah, I think that's a big part of it for sure. And I do think also, I think Hafley did a really good job of getting the best out of moving Quay Walker to the mic, which was going to be a tricky task because
it was always a weird fit.
Yeah, it was a tricky task, especially because the year before Hafley came in, right, Quay Walker was a guy who was in tremendous position to have potentially 6, 7, or 8 interceptions in 23, where he was in the passing windows, potentially making plays like that. And you go, okay, he's finding he's kind of finding himself as kind of that will linebacker further away from the ball, right? You can run the pole in Tampa looks, but he can also just, make plays in coverage. And it was like, okay, the athleticism, obviously set the floor, and then recognition, right, and getting your eyes in the right spot and getting to your spots, it was working. And then it was like, okay, draft Cooper, even though Cooper I thought was better defending the run because he had a plan of attack against offensive linemen that I think was better than Quay's coming into the league. Hafley was very adamant. No, we're going to have Quay, because he's a little bit bigger, be the mic. And I think it worked really, really well. And I think that's, going to be the selling point, that he's probably already had the conversation with John Eric Sullivan of like, hey, no, we're bringing that guy over. He's a free agent. That's priority number 1 for me, right? And so part of that, part of the swarming, part of Wyatt being able to attack a little bit more, right, and having Micah as well, I think also the guys opposite him, I think were very clearly, bought into defending the run, going, okay, if I give any extra effort that I have here, look how much I'm going to thrive and everyone's going to thrive when Micah and everybody else were rushing. And like that, Kingsley played a lot better against the run, I think, this year. Van Ness was tremendous when he was on the field. Like, it just, it did feel like that it was better. It doesn't mean it was like, best in the league or anything like that, but it was clearly, when you watch the Pettin defense in that championship game against the Niners, right, you go, oh, they just had no answer. I feel like Hafley's unit had answers and had the desire to go make plays against the run on top of it. So I think it's just going to come down to this year is replacing and getting more juice and more beef on that in that front seven, and probably replacing Quay, which is going to be it's not going to be a simple task.
Yeah. So you do think Quay is gone then?
I think so. I mean, I think it's going to be $15 million a year. Unfortunately, because of what Lloyd's going to get. Lloyd's going to, I think, push more contracts up higher because of how good he's been, and guys are going to see that and go, okay, I know I'm not going to get that, but let's get to 75% of that. Let's get to 80% of that, right? Like, I think that's if he sets the floor before some of these guys, which I think Jacksonville would be silly to let him go. That's where you're going to see Quay potentially price himself out.
Adam Huddle says, I don't think it really matters 4-3 or 3-4. That's true.
Probably not.
Be a nickel a ton. Yep. I think Green Bay just needs a couple more 310+ pound defensive tackles to get a good rotation going.
Would be nice.
Garrett says, I think you can make an argument that the assistant coaches just have not been good at getting the best out of these young players. The draft and develop strategy only works if you have coaches who can develop. I think that a couple of things are true here. One is that there are some player types, particularly at defensive tackle, that are not on this roster. And Gutekunst, for whatever reason, has, ever since he got here, he has devalued defensive tackle. Devontae Wyatt and Colby Wooden are the only guys that he's spent any kind of significant draft capital to bring in.
Yeah.
And like Colby wasn't even that early. He was a fourth rounder.
Right. Exactly.
He's brought in El Cheapo street free agents to come in and plug a hole here, plug a hole there. Defensive tackle has been so devalued under Gutekunst. It's one of the big frustrations. It's one of the reasons they always suck against the run. He doesn't do anything to address the middle of the defensive line, ever.
Yep.
So that plus
I think going to the 4-3
many years of
gave him an excuse to as well, because it's like, all right, well, we're not gonna, in the 4-3 we might creep a Sam linebacker down, right, to get 5 on the line of scrimmage, but when in the 3-4 when we're in base, we got to have more D tackles out there. And so I think Goody in the back of his mind, when they making that switch, he's like, oh, I can draft even less, even fewer defensive tackles. We don't need as many. Great.
Wait a minute. I don't
have to do this part.
I could just get rid of Kenny and not replace him. Perfect.
Correct. Yep. Extend him for no reason.
I'm not Monday morning quarterbacking and saying I wish we hadn't gotten rid of Kenny. I'm still glad we got rid of Kenny. You needed to replace him is the problem, and we did.
Yeah. Yep. Accurate.
Okay. So let's circle back to Dershel for a second. He brought up this man, Chris Tabor. So Chris Tabor has only been with the Bills for a year. This is their special teams coordinator. This is Tyler Dershel's prediction for who we hire as special teams coordinator. I do agree he's potentially going to be available with them getting a new head coach. At least there's going to be a little window here.
Looks like Dennis Leary.
Let me tell you, pictures of this man are interesting.
Looks like Dennis Leary.
This is one of the nicer pictures I could find of him. Interestingly, there's not a lot of pictures of him wearing Bill stuff. And the ones that are out there are pretty much mostly just him like at a podium, which I don't really like those pictures. I like pictures of you out there doing your job. He was with the Panthers for quite a while. Tyler Dershel says we need more crazy. Chris Tabor has a crazy face. I'll tell you that. I don't know anything about him in person. He's got a crazy face. Joe says same can be said about Jair. Great you got rid of him, but now replace him. You are singing my tune. How many times, Jake, did I say that this spring and summer? Probably 3 or 4 per podcast. Pretty sure. Gary says, I think Goot ignored the defensive tackle position because he had Clark. Here's the thing. You're correct. But, Clark wasn't enough. Even when Kenny was playing well, he was the only guy we had. And then he stopped playing well.
Yep.
And we didn't have defensive tackle depth. Finally, there was a point where we had Devontae Wyatt, and he's playing 5 games a year, and there's nobody else out there. It's been barren. That room has been barren.
No, that's true.
Adam Huddle says, first question I would ask every defensive tackle candidate is to watch Rashan Gary's
defensive
tape.
coordinator candidate.
Defensive coordinator candidate, thank you. Is to watch Rashan Gary's tape and then ask them if they thought he should be brought back. If they said yes, they would be an instant pass. I have a better idea.
Raheem Morris would say yes.
Really, make them watch Rashan Gary.
Just being honest.
And tell you how they would fix him. All right. I'm not saying let's keep him and fix him. I'm saying I'd like my defensive coordinator to at least have a plan for that. Right. Adam Huddle said Goot clearly wanted a defensive tackle last year in the draft, and they all went stupid high. So it is true they all went stupid high. Derek Harmon was the guy I really wanted. I also liked Walter Nolan. I am curious, Adam, if you can say why you think Goody wanted a defensive tackle in last year's draft. What? Just I'm not questioning it. I'm just you sound confident about that, and so I'm share with me your information because this is interesting to me. Yeah. So Chris Tabor, longtime guy with the Panthers. I think I'd be like probably in favor. I don't think they're moving on from Rich Bisaccia. He's still under contract. They'd have to eat some money. And Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst have told us a bajillion times. And then Rob Demovsky went and screamed on the radio about how much he hated Justice Mosqueda. About how much the Packers don't care about special teams. All right. Which is true. We know they don't give a crap about special teams. So I don't think Rich Bisaccia is getting fired.
Right.
And I do think, actually, if I could pick between moving on from Rich and moving on from Steno, I would much prefer to move on from Steno because I also don't know that I believe in my heart of hearts that special teams would really get better with hiring a new special teams coordinator unless they also decide to start doing more on the roster to care about. I mean, like, look, they solidly refuse to roster a kick returner or a punt returner. Anytime they have somebody who can do it, they either cut them or trade them or move that player to a starting defensive position and put somebody else back there at returner. They do not care. Yeah. Now, Jake, if I had, stop me if I said this last week, because I might have said it last week. If I had Matt LaFleur's ear and I told him, hey, Matt, I know this cool little trick that'll get you a free 10 yards, just about, on every offensive possession. Are you interested? And then I told him that it was having a competent return game, so you're not starting every drive on your 5 or your 10, and you're actually starting it where your opponents start it, which is like the 20 or 30. Do you think he'd have any interest at all, or would he say like, "Nah, that's stupid. I don't care about special teams"? Because he already said he doesn't talk to kickers.
I kind of think that is the answer.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm not that concerned.
Adam Hull says, I don't know if they did draft Savion. Are they going to put Savion out there on returns ever? Do that?
Maybe Signetti, side gig on Sundays. Show up, coach some special teams for fun.
No. Signetti's going to come in and be the returner.
Doesn't have to travel too far to Green Bay. Road games might be a little trickier, but could see how it matches up with the Indiana schedule when that releases next week. So
Chris says that's the problem with Goot, always doubling or tripling down at one position. Not enough picks for all the needs when he does that stupid stuff. I actually agree with this. And we have complained about this a bit, that Goody neglects certain positions for a year or 2 years until it becomes like truly dire, and then still goes through that season with McDonald's employees out there playing that position. And then the next offseason is like, oh man, I got to fix this position. I'm going to get an expensive free agent and a cheap free agent and then draft 3 guys at that position, and that'll fix it. Guess what? It does fix it, but you got other holes now, and you could have used some of that capital, draft capital or otherwise, cap space to fix some other holes on the roster because now you got some more holes in the roster. So yeah, I agree. You're 100% correct. Well said. Adam Huddle says, and they did try more this year to get special teamers. They all just got hurt. I don't know that I agree with that.
Neiman getting hurt was unfortunate.
It was, but also they had some good special teamers that they just moved off of.
Yeah, Hardman.
All right, there's been a couple of linebackers who they refused to roster. Yeah, Isaiah Simmons. Who's the other guy who we had? Mecole Hardman. Mecole Hardman, playing good special teams. And there's been a couple of linebackers the past couple of years who have been like special teams aces for us, including there was also that tight end that everybody loved for a while and then hated, and then he tore his ACL. What was that guy's name? Who's that tight end? He can only play special teams. He was a terrible tight end.
Oh, shoot. Tyler Davis.
2 years ago. Tyler Davis. All right. Garrett says, who does Goot draft 3 times over this year? Corner. Obviously corner.
If you had to choose corner, defensive tackle, or offensive line to draft 3 times,
are you asking
which would you do?
My preference or my prediction?
What would you do? And then you can say your prediction as well, but what would you do? If you were said you can triple down effectively at offensive line, defensive tackle, or corner, which would you do of the 3?
Yeah, it would be offensive line. But I strongly consider defensive tackle. Here's the thing. All 3 of those are pretty premium positions. Like cornerback really matters, man. It really matters. And it's been so interesting to me. It's been so interesting to me this year, listening to people crap on Jeff Hafley as a defensive coordinator for roster deficiencies, right? Yeah. Oh, I can't believe we're playing so much zone. Oh, man, we're just in the fourth quarter, we're giving up all these deep passes and everything. Hafley sucks. Okay, well, watch the play. Keisean Nixon falls on his freaking face. Don't think that was Jeff Hafley's play call. Jeff Hafley's play call doesn't say fall on your freaking face and chew on some turf for a minute and let the dude, take it for 24 yards before Xavier McKinney comes screaming from the other side of the field and takes the dude's head off. Because Xavier McKinney and Evan Williams are the only defensive backs we have on the roster who can play football. It's not Jeff Hafley's fault. He's got McDonald's employees out there playing cornerback. You got Keisean Nixon, the idiot, jumping out of the way so that DeAndre Swift or Kyle Monungai, whichever one it was, doesn't hurt him when he takes the ball in for a touchdown. Keisean Nixon going to go jump on the pile after the play's over, draw a 15-yard penalty. Yeah, that's Jeff Hafley's fault. But Keisean Nixon's a moron. Yeah, Jeff Hafley's fault. It's just been so interesting to me when the general, not just the fan base, but also like some commentators, Packers commentators, that I would think like at least know as much ball as I do, right? Yeah. Which is not a high bar, right? I wouldn't say I'm, certified X's and O's ball knower, all right? Wouldn't say that. I wouldn't put that on my resume. There's some dudes out there covering this team, doing commentating on it, completely ignoring blatant roster deficiencies. By the way, look at the defensive tackle room, okay? Not a one of them played well this year, including Devontae Wyatt. Devontae Wyatt was bad.
It looks good to me.
They were all bad. If you care about PFF grades, and a lot of people don't, but if you do, if you put such stock in such things, Jake Schyvinck, for $1.
Right.
For $1. Which Packers defensive tackle had the highest PFF grade this year? I'll give you a hint. He's the only guy who had an average defensive grade. Everybody else was well below average. This one guy was at average. Name that player for $1.
He was average.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
his PFF grade was average.
Everybody else was.
You are wrong.
Stackhouse?
For this who says wooden
it's
is wrong.
Stackhouse.
Nope, you're wrong.
Want
me to just tell you?
No. Jordan Riley.
Nope. He was bad too. They were all bad.
I know.
It was John Ford, who we picked up in week 17.
That's fantastic.
Played most of the year for the Bears. He had an average PFF grade. Everybody, by the way, former Packers 7th round pick, never did jack while he was here. Wasn't really that good with Chicago either. He had the highest PFF defensive grade of any Packers defensive tackle this year. Everybody else had a horrible grade. And they were bad this year. They were. Now, they were much worse when Devontae Wyatt wasn't out there. But that defensive tackle room was bad. I'll tell you, Gutekunst came into this season with just Devontae Wyatt at defensive tackle. A man who has only ever played about a half a season per year. He's got some injury history. He hadn't started many games before this year. And Gutekunst said, here's my plan. I'm going to assume 0 injuries to Devontae Wyatt, Tucker Kraft, the cornerback room, 0 injuries. Man, it was a really good strategy. Almost worked. He got the tiniest bit unlucky that injuries do happen and that he didn't have any backups. It's not his fault there weren't any backups. What's he supposed to do? Go out and get more players?
I state my regret.
Town,
I state my regret.
That's crazy. That's crazy talk. Get more players. All right.
So
I've done a lot of ranting. I think it's time for you to do some ranting.
What'd you say of the 3?
Offensive line.
What you think they'll do is corner, though, which I
think they'll do corner because they have no corners.
Especially if they're bringing in a passing game coordinator, DB's coach on that track to be their DC, which
you cannot bring in any of these former defensive back coaches and show them your defensive back room, show them these cornerback room, and say,
"This is fine."
By the way, these are the guys you have this year. No, we're not drafting anybody.
Sorry,
we're running it back with Keisean Nixon and Nate Hobbs, with Carrington, Valentine, and Kamal Haddon backing them up. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. And by the way, we consider whatever his name is, Javon Bullard, a corner.
Man. Oh, yeah.
All right. As you can tell, I'm a little feisty. I did a lot of ranting. It's time for you to rant. Jake, the floor is yours. Everybody on Packers social media is asking for this man, Raheem Morris,
to
be the Packers defensive coordinator.
I feel like, so I did pose this question yesterday because I'm genuinely trying to figure out what the deal is here with this guy. And I think everybody points to the 2 most obvious was the very vague answer of well, he did better. He did a better job given what was put around him. And it was he inherited the number 1 defense when he took over in LA. They went to 9th, then they went to 23rd, then 20th in EPA per play. This Falcons team was in the 20s in 2024, and I think they were 15th in 2025. I don't know, man. I feel like he is the exact thing that if you're talking about all right, LaFleur has to continue to be proactive in how he approaches his assistants and not hire his friends, Joe Barry. How is this not relapsing?
How is
this not a relapse?
According to Matt LaFleur, he and Raheem Morris are best buds.
This is a problem. I don't know what's happening here. I think the best argument I heard because of that bland answer that was oh, he did really good, based on what was built around him. And it's okay, that gives me nothing. One answer was like he won't play. He'll be aggressive and won't play soft zone coverage like Hafley, which I thought was very funny. And then we got a classic comment of like Hafley had his corners playing 20 yards off the ball if he couldn't embellish enough. And it was interesting because obviously Hafley without Parsons last year had the 5th, I believe, ranked defense in EPA. And you could see the aggressiveness when they got to third down, right? You saw where they were putting Gary, where they were putting Edrin Cooper, right? With McKinney blitzing. They were doing all that stuff in spades last year. So I don't know. I don't understand that one at all. So I genuinely like if the players like to play for him, that's really cool. And that is a great quality to have when you are moving up the ranks and you're getting to a head coaching position. That's great. That's super great. I'm glad that people want to play for him. The problem is I don't think the execution that he and the track record is worthy of like, oh yeah, this is going to be a really, really good hire. This feels like the safe best friend hire. And then we're back in square one when this defense is EPA and success rate is in the 20s again. And you go, well, can't do anything about that. It's just not, the personnel's not there. When in 24, Hafley, when you could say the defense was probably not that great and super young, he got so much out of that defense. And so and again, we talked about what they were doing at the beginning of this year, swarming, firing around the ball, cool. If you're going to go down the route of familiarity, I think it has to be Christian Parker. I think it has to be, in my opinion. Why? Experience in a few different schemes that I actually really like. He was in Denver with Fangio for a year. Then he was with Vance Joseph for a couple. He's been the DB coach with Fangio again in Philly. I like those ties. I like those
he's been described ties. As like an architect of those passing
defenses. This is what I'm talking. Yeah. And you bring in an architect of a secondary unit who has been really good. And the fact that the Eagles were somehow getting some decent play out of Adoree Jackson in spurts last year that should be cause for interview everywhere. Right? I get it that that he got to inherit Quignon and DeJean. But man, they didn't have to be that good that quick. They would have been given some grace if they struggled. They really haven't struggled that much. They have been outstanding. And I feel like, JJ, you can correct me if I'm wrong, if you feel like it's not the case, but I feel like he's getting quite a bit out of a safety room that I don't think is that great, to be honest. It doesn't feel like that safety room's really exciting. And I feel like
that's true. And also, he was handed 2 rookie corners in Cooper DeJean and Quignon Mitchell.
You never know how that can go.
Like he got the most out of them.
Yeah.
This is what you want. If you're going to draft these guys high, you need your DB coach to make sure that they are hits. And he did. The Eagles hit on both of those guys. Instant. And I am absolutely going to give credit to Christian Parker for making that happen.
It's so impressive. It is so impressive. And so, yeah, I don't
the Eagles' defense was not that good this year, but their pass defense was pretty good. Their pass defense was quite good.
Yeah. And he was in Denver, again, obviously it's nice when you have Surtain, right? That certainly helps. But guys like Riley Moss,
didn't Parker also oversee bringing in Jahdae Barryn?
That's possible. I mean, that would not surprise me at all.
I think he did.
No, he was in. No, he would have been in Philly already, right? Because he was in Philly in 2024. So yeah, he wouldn't have done.
Were Barryn and Cooper in the same class?
Barryn and Cooper.
Who is the DB that Denver drafted in 23 then?
Was it the safety? I thought it was that Texas safety. Hold on. Bringing it up for 23.
Adam Huddle says another Parker positive.
Riley
already
Moss.
Familiar with exciting whites.
Riley Moss. Yeah, both Riley Moss and Cooper DeJean, by the way. Damari Mathis was a pick for them when he was there. Obviously, he inherited Surtain. Caden Stearns was the DB I was thinking of from Texas, who they got some decent play out of as well. But again, that defensive unit in Denver was really kind of basically saving them from being horrendous. So I do think he has done a really nice job with the DBs in Denver. It feels like the track record from he was Pettine's quality control coach, right, to I'm going to work with Fangio and Vance Joseph and then Fangio again. I mean, that's a really good group of guys to be working with. And so to see a lot of some differing styles, because Vance isn't quite like Fangio. So he's, there's a lot in his brain about what the Vance Joseph thing that works. And right, it's clearly been working in Denver now, right, for a couple seasons. And why the Philly room is working, why the Fangio scheme works, what needs to be in place for the Fangio scheme to work, what the DB's responsibilities need to be, how effective their communication needs to be on the back end, right? Because Fangio does a lot of match stuff, right? It's quarters, it's 6, it's 8, cover 9. They do that trips when they have trips to the one side. You have safeties looking to poach, right? That the number 3. There's so many different principles that I think he was probably able to just be a sponge listening to Fangio, and that to me is much more interesting. And I feel like he is younger, right? He's in his mid-30s, I think. Yeah,
Parker, I think he's 34 or 35. I want to say maybe he was 34 when we interviewed him 2 years ago, so maybe he's 36 now.
I see 34, actually. Looks like 91, December of 91. Yeah, so okay. 34. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like this is it's just, I think, a really good situation all around. You have a little bit of familiarity, right, from LaFleur's end, where it's okay, yeah, he was here. He started here. We got to see him up close, right, working with Pettine for a couple seasons. And then, he kind of went on, this ride with Denver and Philly that I do feel like, if you were going to look at defensive backs coach plus passing game coordinator, it's kind of nice to maybe have a passing game coordinator to come in and go, okay, this is how we're going to deploy coverage, all of that. Because why? We got Micah, right? So Micah's going to help us out. Right, the rush, how the defensive line, how the pressure is going to set up, right? He feels like there's probably if guys are going to stay, right? Covington, all of that, maybe Ansley stays, right? And guys who will have a good knowledge of what Hafley's been doing to go, okay, this is how the
Sean Dugan probably does. Sean Dugan followed Hafley from BC to Green Bay. Probably follows him to Miami.
Probably
might be potentially Hafley's defensive coordinator, which would be interesting. We would then have a different linebacker coach 3 years in a row. Here we go. Dershel has an interesting name here that I wanted to highlight.
Aiden Dirty.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Isn't it Durd? Aiden Durd?
Maybe.
Or is it Dirty?
Durd.
So Aiden Durd was first of all, British. He grew up in England. He played in NFL Europe, so that's kind of fun. He was the defensive line coach for the Cowboys, and 2 years ago, in addition to Christian Parker, we did interview Aiden Durd for the defensive coordinator vacancy when we ended up hiring Hafley. I knew it would be interesting to consider reuniting Aiden with Micah Parsons. Just putting that out there.
Do you see the town he was born in? Did you look at his Wikipedia?
No, what time was he born in?
I'm not saying it. You got to look it up yourself.
Is it something I can't put on screen when I do see it?
I don't know. I think you probably can. I just think it's. It might be funnier than it might be funnier to me than it.
There's a lot of towns in England that would make you laugh. If that makes it.
Yeah. I know.
The town he grew up in is Middlesex.
Yeah.
Do you think Sussex is funny?
No, not as much. No, that's funnier.
Middlesex sounds like a gender. It sounds like a.
I think I can say this on stream. I think I can say this. I've been to England, and there was a train, the Piccadilly line, that goes to Cockfosters. Is what it is. It would say that every time. You would board the train. So there are some immaturely funny names of towns there, but But he's got a lot of experience too. Like he is, been in the NFL.
I think I'd be more interested
years, 12 years?
in him for his time in Dallas than his time in Seattle. Like he hasn't been in Seattle very long.
No.
And like that's Mike McDonald's defense. I just don't know that I'm going to give Aiden oodles of credit for Seattle's defense. And like, frankly, if I were to pick like a weakness of that defense, I would get to defensive line before I got to some other positions. Not that it's bad, but it's like I wouldn't say that their defensive line is like the backbone of that defense.
No, probably not. Although I think two things they've done really well is they've gotten, I think, the best out of moving DeMarcus Lawrence to sort of a different position. Right, they've had Leonard Williams there. And then Byron Murphy year 2 has been vastly better than Byron Murphy year 1. Just from even from a double team standpoint alone, has been a lot better. But yeah, I think to me when I'm looking to Seattle, Carl Scott, a name who I know popped up in some conversations on some, I think it might have been on Pack-A-Day as well. He doesn't have really any play calling experience, right? And so he is, again, it's a risky move, but obviously Dirt isn't really calling plays, I don't think either at this point. Whereas he's kind of the DC, but it's kind of a LaFleur situation. But Carl Scott, right, is what is he? Pass game coordinator and defensive backs coach. And navigating some volatile play from Tariq Woolen, who I think had a really tremendous back half of the season. I mean, Witherspoon, man. How about it? Julian Love on the back end, who I think nobody kind of talks about as much. Nick Emmanwori.
I've always been a Julian Love fan.
Goodness sakes.
He's finally actually really popping off with Seattle.
Yeah, and Nick Emmanwori, a rookie. Like, goodness sakes, man.
Can you remind me this guy's name again that you're talking about, the DB coach?
Yeah.
Carl
Scott. And so another one that I think, just at the very least, if they're going to cast a wider net, might as well pick the brains of some of these guys in Seattle just to see, what they've picked up from McDonald in more of a disguised coverage scheme that's going to be calculated when it brings pressure, right? So and a defense that's been able to hang in nickel pretty much all year, which is hard to do, especially in the division they play in, right? Where the Niners have been in, they got Juszczyk and Kittle, right, running the football, and the Rams have been in 13. So like the ability to handle that from nickel and your DBs, like Emmanwori has to play really well, and Spoon has to play really well when he's in the slot. Like that is more interesting, I think, to me, Carl Scott, than maybe Dirt is, just because, is Dirt calling plays? No, this is really McDonald's thing, and I feel like I'm more intrigued about how the DBs have gotten to where they've got than this defensive line. More so because of, again, DeMarcus Lawrence been in the league a long time. Not super surprised that he could make a slight adjustment later in his career, right? Byron Murphy, I feel like, again, top half of the first round draft pick, ascending player that, it makes sense. And I think, Dirt has probably at least played a part in that second year leap for sure. But Leonard Williams was also pretty darn established, right? And I think kind of when you look at some of the edge players, it's kind of like a mixed bag right now, and they don't have, like, Boye Mafe, they're getting some out of him, right? Derek Hall, and so they're fine. But I am much more interested in these DBs and how they seem to all be just clicking right now, and why I think this is going to be one of the most exciting NFC Championship games we've had in a long time. Just I cannot wait to see this game, and I think part of it is just how all of these pieces have been put together in Seattle.
I I want to touch on something you said about. You highlighted how tough that division is, and it called to mind a tweet I saw earlier from a guy named Kyle Odegaard, U.S. PR outreach lead for Press Insights, Arizona Cardinals insider.
Is this what I think?
He said, "I'm shocked that nobody wants to coach a 3-14 team with a cheap owner, a juggernaut division, and no plan at quarterback."
Yeah, I can't believe it. It's crazy.
There was a unverified report that came out earlier today.
Only Cignetti can turn around the Cardinals.
Unverified report earlier today that Sean McDermott politely declined to interview for the Raiders and Cardinals head coaching vacancies. Matt Faulkner wants to know if we could bring in Sean McDermott for our defensive coordinator.
Pardon my French. McDermott's so damn tired of AFC West, he don't want to be out there. He doesn't like. Oh, they play the Chiefs.
He might want to go to the NFC for a while, just for a change.
Play the Chiefs twice a year. No, thank you. I've already done that. I hate it. No, thank you, sir. Also, going to Denver again. I have PTSD. I'm not going. I think that's funny. He's just like he's had simply enough of that. Where I agree. I just would not want to be there. Would not want to be there. Are there NFC openings? Are there still NFC openings? Other than Arizona? No?
Isn't not one in the South? No, the South is all full.
Yeah, it's just Arizona.
Falcons. Yeah. Okay.
It's just Arizona. You might not.
Yeah.
Might have that. Not have that luxury, unless you want to take that job.
Here's a quote regarding Sean McVay from Ian Rappaport. He said, quote, "The fact that Sean McDermott with Josh Allen with all those weapons and so much talent on defense, what about that, could not get to where they needed to go, could not get to the Super Bowl. This is something that has been weeks coming." Okay. Let me translate. All right.
I am worried I'm going to
translate propaganda from Buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, "My understanding is McDermott himself had some questions about how much talent the Bills had. I'm not sure that sat well in the building, per the building.
I can't believe
the Bills wanted a new leader." So essentially, Sean got fired for correctly questioning the job that their mid GM did.
Yeah.
Sean McDermott is going to be a head coach either in this cycle or maybe he'll sit out for a year and wait for some better openings. I really would not be. I would think he probably doesn't get hired by Baltimore. I think that, the Ravens and Bills have been compared so much the last couple of years.
I know. I don't know.
And like they both have gotten so much like Super Bowl hype the last few years, and like they both teams have been such chokers. And I think that they probably know that about each other. I don't know that the Ravens would view McDermott as anything but like a lateral move from Harbaugh.
Not a ceiling raiser. Yeah, I agree.
But I could see him maybe winding up in Pittsburgh. What else is available besides those two?
So it's Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
Raiders and Cardinals, Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Cleveland.
And Joe just mentioned Aubrey Pleasant. I was going to say Aubrey Pleasant and Christian Parker are two guys who I was ticked we let out of the building, and we could remedy that by bringing Christian Parker back to be a defensive coordinator for us. I like both of those guys.
Yes.
Yeah, and Adam Huddle said, and then Brandon Beane got promoted, which is just
and this is
wild.
The thing, right? This has now happened twice in New York this season, where the GM, who has been bad, respectfully, who's been bad, has cozied up to the owner, said this is not.
You're talking about the Jets, or you're talking about the Jets and the Giants. Actually, it applies to both of them.
Yeah, it kind of does. Where the owner, it's just like the GMs get to cozy up to the owner on Sundays, while the coaches are out there battling, and that has happened in Buffalo and the Giants, and you could say the Jets a little bit as well, right? Even in previous seasons, there was a lot of that going on, which I think, part of why Salah's getting a gig this quickly, I think. But where the coach it can't answer for it during games, and you kind of form this like alliance be a little snake and go, yeah, I got the head coach. I got the owner on my side. I can scapegoat the head coach. And Joe Schoen somehow keeping his job is the dumbest thing. Like John Harbaugh has every right to Sean Payton, the GM in New York.
Well,
to just say, by the way, you get out of my way. This has not gone well.
Sean McDermott was there first.
I know.
And he kind of was the one who brought Brandon Beane in.
Yes.
And then Brandon Beane now, to save his own job, throws Sean McDermott under the bus after assembling a pretty mediocre roster.
Brandon
and doing
Baelish,
kind of a dog water job of like trying to improve that roster over a bunch of years. Anyways, we're way getting off track here.
Littlefinger-esque moves by Brandon Beane.
Stick your pinky out while you drink your tea. Yeah.
Just absolute traitor moves. I did warn you not to trust me type of scenario. Like, just I hate everything about that. I actually think, like, McDermott, believe it or not, I think I'd take over Raheem Morris, no questions asked. McDermott had the number 1 defense in 2021, folks. He had the number 1 defense.
I would take McDermott over Raheem Morris and
because I
over DeMarcus Covington, but he wouldn't be my number 1 choice.
No. This is more of like if
Christian Parker would be my number 1 choice.
Yeah, if Christian Parker gets hired by Dallas tomorrow, right?
Dallas or like the Niners,
then I would start putting McDermott higher on the board because, again, I think he's gotten a lot of DBs that I think somehow I don't think could play anywhere else. And I truly blame Brandon Beane for the absolute lack of like talent other than Ed Oliver on the defensive line. Like, I think like Beane was just kind of in mode of like, yeah, we don't need to upgrade. These guys will get better in year 5, year 6, year 7. Let's bring in Joey Bosa, the near corpse of Joey Bosa, to fix our problems. Or, let's sign Von Miller to 6 years, $140 million.
Yeah, Von Miller.
He won't see half of this deal. And I don't know, man. Brandon Beane, I would definitely play the Mark Phillips instigator role all offseason if I were a Bills reporter. I'd be like, hey, Brandon, so that receiver position, how's it going? Hey, Brandon, so if you looked at free agent receivers, hey, Brandon, have you looked at receivers in the draft so you don't have to trot out 33-year-old Brandon Cooks and hope that Tyrell Shavers becomes your number 1? Oh, and the fact that you drafted Coleman above Ladd, how's that going? Like, I'd be in his face all off season because he's also super, super insecure about that question. Super insecure about that question. But you suck at drafting receivers. Do better.
Do you remember my reaction when they drafted Keon Coleman? How much I hated Keon Coleman as a prospect? Do you remember that?
On live? Or just like, you mean before the draft?
Just when we were discussing the draft.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he couldn't get open. It was pretty simple for Keon Coleman. He could jump really high, which is fun. Flexible athlete, that's fun. But, like, seriously. Like, I don't know how people had him in, like, the top 6 receivers in the draft. It didn't make any sense to me. So, anyway.
So, Iowa Joe wants us to talk about Phil Parker, the Iowa defensive coordinator. Now, Iowa Joe, I'm not sure exactly what Iowa Joe's connection to the Iowa defensive coordinator might be, but
me either. Dershel seems to be in on this as well.
Dershel, noted Iowa fan. I don't know what his connection would be either.
No.
I do like this picture of Phil Parker. I think I like this picture of Phil Parker slightly more.
No.
There's a thing here.
That's middle.
Because I have always liked Phil Parker as a college coordinator. As far as bringing him to the NFL, the guy that Phil Parker has always been compared to among college defensive coordinators is Jim Leonhard. And you may recall, I've been anti-Jim Leonhard for a long time. I'm not a big Jim Leonhard fan.
Yeah.
However, my primary complaint about Jim Leonhard, the last 2 defensive coordinator cycles that we were in, when everybody really wanted us to go and get Jim Leonard, just constantly. My biggest complaint was that he just had not been tried in the NFL. And I didn't think that there was a good enough body of evidence that he could hack it in the NFL. Now Jim Leonard has gone to the NFL. He is with Denver, has done a pretty decent job. Denver. So he's the is he the linebackers coach right now or their DB coach?
Jim Leonard?
They give him an assistant head coach title, right? Which is a reason. It's an excuse. It's a method of giving him a bunch of big raises.
He's got to be a pass game coordinator now.
Yeah. Yes, but but
that's what he is.
That's a made up title. Assistant. It's a made up title to give you more money and more responsibility. Yeah. As for the actual position that he's coaching, is it DBs?
Yeah, it says in 2024 he was DB coach. Yes.
And there were reports, and I think it's true, but I don't know, that LaFleur offered the DC job to Jim Leonard, who turned it down because he thought that he was going to get the head coaching job in Madison. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't care about the Badgers, have never cared about the Badgers, don't have any interest in that program. So it doesn't move me at all to go get a Wisconsin Badgers guy to bring him to Green Bay. I don't give a crap about the Badgers. They're not an impressive program. I don't really care. But he has gone to Denver and done what I was asking him to do, which was demonstrate that he could make the leap. And he's going to be a defensive coordinator in the NFL probably this cycle. I think he's probably getting a DC job somewhere.
Yeah, I think
if the
Packers
might be
the favorite at Dallas right now.
If the Packers went that route.
I mean, odds favorite, by the way. Now, I don't think he's everyone's favorite here. When I read about kind of the Dallas guys, but I think the Dallas guys want Parker. Just to let y'all know.
Christian Parker.
Yeah.
Christian Parker would be my choice. There's a couple other guys I like as well that I probably like more than Jim Leonard. Yeah. But I would like the Jim Leonard hire now more than I liked it 2 years ago, and a lot more than I liked it 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 4 years ago, whatever it was. I'm not really a Jim Leonard guy, but
I remember you going he took an Illinois consulting job. What are we doing?
Yeah.
I know you were really bad about that because you wanted the NFL experience at some point, and it was okay, right. But so why are you taking this? Get something else, right? Find a way in.
Dude, your resume clearly does not impress any of the powers that be at any level of football the way that it impresses Wisconsin fans. So go improve your resume. Now, thankfully, he's done that. He's gone to Denver, has done a good job there. Denver loves him. Denver gave him an assistant head coach title. I know there's a lot of Wisconsinites who he is their number one choice. And I said it at the top. I kind of don't care anymore, right? I'm feeling kind of apathetic about this hire. My only ask is that the resume looks good enough on paper. Right, that's kind of my only ask, and I think it's because I am lacking some faith in the roster and lacking some faith in Gutekunst and LaFleur to really turn this around in 2026 to where it needs to be. Jim Leonard, who I really did not like his resume at the last two times we were looking, he's improved his resume to the point, taking his lumps over there in Denver, and the proof is there that he can make the leap. I'm fine with doing this now. He wouldn't be my top choice, but I'd be fine with it. Garrett says, can the Packers please hire their guy ASAP before Dallas snags them? Probably
Dallas. Not just
Dallas and a couple other teams are probably making their picks before the Packers do. For two reasons. One, Matt LaFleur had to take Mrs. LaFleur on vacation. Number two, he really, really, really needed to hammer out his own contract and take a week to do it before he could start considering bringing somebody in. And then 3, we decided that we were not allowed to interview anybody until Jeff Hafley got hired, even though everyone knew it was a guarantee.
Once the jobs just started stacking up, it was kind of like, oh, crap.
But the Packers were sitting on their hands.
And especially if like McDermott, like if he takes a year off, right, and waits for the next cycle. Obviously, Tomlin was going to do that once he stepped down. That was very clear. And it's like, okay, because of the work Hafley's done, like he's going to get, which he might not. And so like the doors kept opening and guys were kind of moving out of the way. And it's like, okay, well, Hafley's going to, and then kind of when John Eric Sullivan, got hired, it was kind of like, okay, most likely. So,
yeah, props to John Eric Sullivan for being super, super, super creative in his head coaching search. And I'm interested to see how super, super creative he's going to be when he signs all of Green Bay's free agents this offseason. That will be interesting to see. So Jim Leonard, we both give a thumbs up on this. Yes, that you'd be okay with it.
Yeah,
but
I think I'd be good with it.
I spoke at length about where my enthusiasm level is for this. Where's yours? Are you enthusiastic about Jimmy?
I think
most
it's fine.
Packer people are.
I think it's fine. I think I'd be more of like, I think I'd lean more towards indifferent rather than like excited. But I won't be like, oh no, this is bad. This is bad. It'll just kind of be more on the like, if 5 is indifference and 10 is over the moon and 1 is terrible, it'd probably be like a 6, maybe 6.5. Whereas like Parker would get me going. It's like a 9.5, right? McDermott probably in the 7-ish range. What else? Who have we talked about? I mean, the Seattle guys would be in that 7-ish range, I think. Carl Scott.
We still have a couple of interesting names to get to as well.
Yeah, let's do it.
So here, Edgar Diaz says Brian Flores, Sean McDermott, Zach Orr, Jim Leo Hennard for DC in that order. I want to touch on Zach Orr real quick. Not going to be in the mix for us, almost certainly. He was interviewed last time around. I liked Zach Orr. There were 3 different Baltimore guys in that cycle that I really liked. It was Zach Orr, Anthony Weaver, who just interviewed for the Steelers head coaching job and would probably be my choice for Steelers head coach. And then who's the other guy? The DB guy. Because Anthony Weaver was the defensive line coach for Baltimore, right? And who was their DB guy? It was Chris something. Chris
Horton.
What was it?
Chris Horton, maybe. No, that
doesn't sound right, but maybe it is.
Special teams, I think. Actually.
It was kind of a cool name, I think. Anyways, so Zach Orr is obviously the Ravens defensive coordinator. The Ravens defense has not been that good since he took over, and I think they're keeping him. And I really wouldn't be surprised if Ravens are considering him strongly for, interviewing him for head coach. Just say it. Like Zach Orr, culture guy. Would I be interested in Zach Orr? Probably, although Baltimore's defense, like I said, has not been that good the last 2 years under him. But I just don't think he's going to become available to us.
Denard Wilson is, I think, the guy.
That might be.
Or Chris Hewitt.
I thought there was a Chris Hewitt. That's the guy. Chris Hewitt. That's it. Yep, that's the one.
Chris Hewitt.
That's the one. Where's Chris Hewitt right now?
I don't know.
Because I was really surprised. I thought Chris Hewitt was going to be. I think he's still with Baltimore.
Pass game coordinator and secondary coach for the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, the Colts. Okay, that's interesting. Because I really thought that Hewitt was going to get the DC job with the Ravens,
right? And
the Ravens were like perfectly content to let him walk, as far as we could tell.
It seems like the Ravens have they bungled it. They could have fired Harbaugh and kept McDonald as your architect. Or they could have kept Weaver as DC, Didn't want to do that.
Coulda.
Hewitt did stay on in 2024, but then left.
It's probably not going to be to the same level, but like think about the picture that keeps getting passed around and it keeps growing over the years of the Washington Redskins offensive coaching staff back in what a year, 2011, whatever, where you had everybody there. Like that's going to be the Ravens defensive coaching staff.
Yeah. And it's why I think like, and again, will they kind of make that risky step of going to get Minter because he's been in that building. He knows he understands the McDonald thing. Like I feel like that's if they feel like they lost out on a lot of that, which they have. I would imagine they're going that direction, especially if like McDaniel is not going to be the guy there, and he's going to go to LA, right? Like it does feel like that's probably the direction they're leaning. So.
Huddle says Anthony Campanile leaving really sucked. Would love him back. Here's the thing. He's the defensive coordinator already for Miami. Jeff Hafley can't fire him. Can't. That would be idiotic. And Campanile, you're right. He's in Jacksonville. Idiot. Yeah. So, like I said, Jeff Hafley can't fire him. Can't.
Right. Exactly.
Anthony Campanile. Yeah. He's in Jacksonville. The other teal Florida team. And Campanile is going to be a head coach really soon. Just say it's going to happen.
Sure. For sure.
So yeah, would have loved to keep him, but it was not an option. Okay, but let's talk about Let's talk about Brian Flores.
Okay.
Let's talk about Brian Flores. Brian Flores would actually be my number one pick if I could get one. Would rather have Brian Flores than Christian Parker, even though I like Christian Parker. But like Brian Flores, where would you rank him among defensive coordinators in the NFL? Like easily top 3, yes? So like I put Spags up there.
McDonald's a head coach now, so he is not.
Spags, I might put Spags ahead of Flores. Spags has been getting incredible results from just a dog water roster.
Spags is up there for sure.
Who else would you even put?
I mean, Saleh obviously did a tremendous. They were getting battered left and right, and somehow he kept them afloat.
I think you consider Vic
Fangio. Is it D'Amico's defense? Fangio for sure. Is it D'Amico's defense? You would say so. It's not really. The guy. Oh man, the guy who I can't think of now is their DC in Houston, but Vance obviously has done quite well in Denver. But I think I'd like Flores slightly more. Matt Burke, that's the Houston guy. Yeah, I think.
So I would. So as far as actual
top 3, probably Detroit, Philly.
Yeah. And here's the other thing that you probably don't have to worry about with Brian Flores. He's not gonna be getting head coaching offers because he's suing the NFL.
Right.
It's not gonna happen. Yep. If he drops his lawsuit, I wouldn't even say if he loses his lawsuit. I'm just gonna say if he drops his lawsuit, that's what it would take for
to go back in.
The NFL to what's the opposite of blacklist? It's not whitelist because that's just unblacklist. To unblacklist Brian Flores. Unless he does that, he's not going to be allowed to be a head coach in the NFL. No matter what you think about the case that he has and whether he was wronged or not, no matter what your opinion is, your opinion on that doesn't matter because the NFL owners, all 32 of them, are not going to be okay with seeing any other NFL team other than their own, if they were really to twist things around, hire him as a head coach. All right? It ain't happening. Jerry Jones would not let it happen. Robert Kraft would not let it happen. What's his face with the weird face? The Giants owner, John Mara, would not let it happen. Like they're going to be in lockstep on this. So you just wouldn't have to worry about him leaving. So that's the thing. Daryl Azian said Brian Flores struggled against the Packers defense. Well, maybe he struggled against the Packers offense. He didn't have anything to do with the Packers defense.
I mean, could say what you want about struggling against Green Bay. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. Number 4 in EPA per play per Sumer Sports in 2025. Number 5 in success rate. Number 2 in EPA per pass. I mean, number 7 in EPA per rush this year. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good if you ask me, boss. And I don't feel like the personnel's like extremely great in Minnesota. They tried to plug some of their.
It's not a good
like
roster.
Older
not
defensive
a good
tackles,
roster.
Right? You're in like whatever this is, year 16 for Harrison Smith, right? Your corners aren't all that. Like, I don't know. And last year, by the way, with Flores, 1st in EPA per rush, okay, 7th in EPA per pass, 7th in success rate, 3rd in EPA per play. Year-over-year success on defense, not easy to do, and he did it. And I do think Flores, with he is the architect of chaos, right? He's very much a chaos creator.
It's not just
also
chaos.
Creative match coverage, right?
Mean.
Like it's
mean chaos.
You're right. The defensive, when you're looking at it from like with how the defensive folks would say it, it's creative. Offensively, if you have an offensive brain, you're like, this is mean, this is disrespectful, I hate it. That's good. And the fact that Flores like could trust the safety room this much, I think he'd be thrilled. And Goody has to say is, hey, we're gonna get some corners in here, and he's gonna be like, oh, but Edgerrin Cooper's still here, right? Oh, sweet. He's like, can you get me another linebacker? Can you bring Quay back? And like, just like the stuff that he was doing in 24, where the back-to-back games of like frustrating the crap out of Houston and San Francisco, where palms to one side, quarters to another. Oh, let's drop out all of our guys. We're going to mug the A gaps, but we're also going to do this just creative stuff back and forth on each half of the field. Like, goodness sakes. Like that is, it was outrageous in 24, and it was still very, very good in 25. Like you're kidding. This is, yeah. And the fact that, again, just Minnesota, with it's just McCarthy's play like crap, and they've gone to Max Brosmer and all this stuff, and Carson Wentz, and the defense is just still humming. Like, man, crazy. I just, yeah, it makes perfect sense. It'd be so awesome. And again, I think you have, make a couple moves here and there in the draft, and I feel like he is going to be pretty thrilled about what this unit can do. And he's like, and I feel like he's going to instantly come in and be like, all right, here's a couple things we can do based on the personnel. Here's a couple things that I feel really comfortable with. Like, I just feel like he'd be itching to work with Parsons, obviously, no kidding. But Cooper and McKinney in a Flores defense, and again, obviously Evan Williams as well, right? Evan Williams is this guy that I feel like Flores would go, oh yeah, like we can move him up to the line of scrimmage, and I've seen him tackle. Like he can be a run blitzer. Like that's totally fine. Like we could absolutely do that. And like just everything, again, as I mentioned, you could do with McKinney and like coverage rotation late and all of that stuff. Like how does that not fire the imagination of like how much it would very much feel like Hafley's 2024 unit, but like a step further into chaos, just a step further. So I do think like, yeah, be awesome.
So I see Chris says we don't want him suing the Packers. Here's how you don't have him sue the Packers. Don't interview him and then hire somebody else. Right? Yeah. That's the common denominator for teams to be sued. Okay. If we couldn't land Brian Flores for any number of reasons,
sad day,
could I interest you in his right-hand man, Durante Jones,
interesting.
Who, by the way, if you really want those Jimmy Leonard Wisconsin ties, Durante Jones also coached with the Badgers a number of years ago. Again, DB coach. A lot of DB coaches in this pool.
Yeah.
Viewed as the guy who would take over at defensive coordinator for the Vikings if Flores leaves.
Which he's a free agent. Flores is a free agent, right?
Flores is a free agent.
No, he could obviously
the
go
Vikings
back,
want to retain
right?
him, obviously.
Yeah, he could go back.
Yeah.
And if Flores goes back, right?
I mean, Flores wants a raise. Obviously.
He wants a raise. Season on going to get this guy. But if
he wants a head coaching job, he probably knows he's not going to get one. But there's no way he's not going to, at a bare minimum, parlay all these interviews he's getting from other teams for head coach and defensive coordinator into a raise from the Vikings at a minimum. I want Brian Flores to be the Packers DC, but I would settle for getting him out of the division as long as he doesn't go to San Francisco. I think I'd be okay with him going anywhere but San Francisco.
Yeah, if he goes to Dallas, I'm not upset.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas is Dallas.
Yeah.
It would suck, but. So, Iowa Joe says, or if you want the ultimate Packers connection, you go out and get Johnny Holland. If you want the ultimate, look, we already got the ultimate Packers connection when we hired Bart Starr to be the head coach.
It's Raheem. Raheem is the ultimate connection. It is. And that's really annoying.
So where are you on Durante Jones? Do you have anything to share with us about him?
Other than just thinking about, because he's been there, 4 years in Minnesota?
So he's been with the Vikings for 5 years, but he's been the DB coach for 5 of those years, and then pass game coordinator for 3 years. He's been coaching for 20 plus years. So this is actually his second time with the Vikings. He also was at LSU in 2021. Their defense wasn't amazing that year, but it was okay. He was a DB coach for the Dolphins in 2016 and 17. Bengals secondary coach in 2018-19. So Cam Bynum and Josh Metellus.
Yes.
Were safeties for him in 2023. Worked closely with them. They also in 23 they drafted Mekhi Blackman in the 3rd round.
4th and 6th round picks, by the way. Bynum and Metellus. And they're getting all of that out of those guys.
And this obviously predates Brian Flores getting there.
Right. And again, I think it's really unfortunate that I think that Andrew Booth just couldn't hack it, apparently, right, at corner, and then Scene couldn't stay healthy. Because I think, again, they could have potentially built a monster out there in the secondary. But to get what he got out of Bynum got a really nice contract. Metellus is, again, we mentioned, has done a tremendous job. Blackman's another one who he got hurt. And you saw really good signs from him early on. So, it does feel like, and you said Bengals in 2018 and 2019, right? So that.
Yep. And prior to that, he was with the Dolphins in 2016. He was the assistant DB coach for the Dolphins. He was
there for Jesse Bates peaking early in his career.
This is true.
Got me. Yeah, you got me.
This is a question for Jake. What questions do you ask defensive coordinator candidates to tell if they can handle calling plays or not? Particularly relevant as we're talking about guys like Christian Parker who have not called plays.
I think a really good question probably you ask is, at least I would think, is how do you think you architect a defense that's setting up for this movement back to under center, play action, right? Heavier personnel, run game stuff that teams are starting to build off of. Because everybody's been in the too high stuff. We've been working with these smaller guys constricting space in the passing game. Now the shift is going back. How do you best combat this shift back towards power football duo making more appearances, right? And the under center play action game. How do you feel like you would combat that shift? What are like 2 or 3 things that you think, okay, structurally, fundamentally, how do we attack this shift back towards under center running the football would probably be one of the questions I would ask for sure. Because you've seen what McDonald's answer has been, right? Hey, let's find a pseudo Kyle Hamilton big nickel who, can keep us in, a personnel that can combat the passing game while also still being able to fit the run. Like, I feel like that is probably a question you would definitely ask. Trying to think what else, if there is any. Just
Dershel suggests, how many sacks can Parsons get in your system? Can I just say, very convenient, very, very convenient for Jeff Hafley that he will not be here next year for the season when he promised he was going to get Micah Parsons to break the sack record. Gosh, it's so interesting that he started promising that when he knew he was leaving. That is interesting, is it not?
Okay, can I get into a conspiracy theory? Do they play?
Yeah.
So he wants to help him set the record, right? That's what he said.
Oh my goodness, we play the Dolphins this year.
Yeah, we play the Dolphins at home.
That's hilarious.
We play the Dolphins at home. So
that's hilarious.
I mean, he could help him in a way that we just have not foreseen.
Why
I don't know
are
when
the Dolphins benching their entire O-line? This is a practice squad O-line. What's going on?
Why is Patrick Paul sitting left tackle? He's a healthy scratch. What's going on here?
More importantly, why is Malik Willis being benched for Tua Tagovailoa for this game? What is going on? Malik has been playing great. Here. So Darryl is bringing up Zach Orr again, who we've already talked about, but
we have talked about Orr.
Let's talk about Orr again. So the buzz in Baltimore is, by the way, that they do not expect the next head coach, if it's not Zach Orr, to retain Zach Orr. The buzz in Baltimore is also that Baltimore people think that Eric DeCosta wants Raheem Morris to be the DC for the Ravens next year. They have to hire a head coach first, so this is all super premature.
Why?
But if Zach Orr,
I'm so out on the Ravens if they go Matt Nagy, Raheem Morris. How stupid!
I don't think they'll hire either of those guys. I think they're going to
be so dumb.
Ravens are a good organization. I think that they're going to hire a good head coach.
Come on, it's got to be Minter now.
It has to be Minter,
right? Like that's got to be who it's going to be, or Shula. Like I just don't know.
There's people who think Shula's going to Pittsburgh.
It does. He is the odds-on favorite for Pittsburgh, which would make sense, right? He's under 40, and they want to keep him there for 20 years, so that would be fair.
So Adam Hutt. Okay, you know what? Thank you, Adam. I think I got this backwards. I did get this backwards. I said like half an hour ago that LaFleur offered the DC job to Jim Leonhard. I don't think that's true. I think he actually offered the job to Zach Orr, and Zach Orr turned it down because he had the same offer of DC from Baltimore, and so he wanted to stay in Baltimore. Yeah. That's what it actually was. I apologize for misspeaking about Jim Leonhard. I don't think they ever offered to Jim Leonhard. Maybe they did. If they did, that's a little embarrassing to get turned down by two guys in the same cycle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was Zach Orr. So, if he is available, certainly could see Matt LaFleur still being interested since he was interested last time.
He did decently well with the supreme lack of pass rush this year, right? Like they didn't have anybody rush the pass, so they traded away. Madubuike got hurt with the neck injury. I don't know if he's coming back at all. Like that would, but like kind of the problem with the Ravens, right? In his job. Basically, all Zach Orr had to do is go, okay, where are we bad right now? Let's move Hamilton to where we're bad, and it like fixed things for several weeks. Like, it does feel like you kind of have a trump card in Baltimore of like, hey, if we move Hamilton to where we're struggling, we're going to be fine. And that has happened on 2 occasions. So, ask that or who's their adjuster, right? Defensively of like for this Green Bay team. If you have an adjuster, if you feel like we're struggling here, like who's your adjuster?
And do you call him the adjuster or the eraser?
It's true.
What do you call him? It matters.
Yes.
Everybody likes calling it a different thing.
The adjustment eraser. The offensive adjustment eraser.
Oh, the eraser of adjustments.
Yeah.
Daryl has another suggestion. Al Harris.
Yes. This is okay.
He's been a fast riser.
He has. And this is like very much the nostalgia. This feels like, oh my gosh, Robert Downey Jr. is back as Dr. Doom. That's kind of what this feels like, a little bit of like, oh wow, bringing back nostalgia.
Do you like
right?
Downey
like
is
type of thing
being brought back for Dr. Doom?
But this is what this feels like, right?
That.
Where it's just I'm fine with it. I think it was like a cool reveal type of thing, but I don't know how it's gonna play. This is the only thing I'm worried about with Harris, right? Are we jumping the gun just a little too early and going on nostalgia because he made one of the great plays right at the end of kind of the Favre era, right? Like that was awesome. And he was a great player here for quite some time, right? And so, yes, I think as far as getting DBs to produce, he has been outstanding. He's been outstanding, right? Dallas. These Bland and Diggs were machines picking off passes in Dallas, right? Rashan Wright, been a tremendous player for the Bears in flipping some games. Kevin Byard obviously had a bunch of picks this year. Like, it does feel like the DBs are thriving and pretty much kind of just turning games in their favor. Which, I mean, hey, if Al Harris can get McKinney to pick off 15 passes in a season, like I feel like I'd probably be on board with this, right? But I do think, like, are we getting slightly ahead of ourselves with this one? I'll be honest. I've been on the train too. I've been like, yes, absolutely, bring Al Harris back. And then you kind of step back and go, okay, yes, but does he kind of seem to, at the moment, do a great job, getting these like 1-year smashes out of DB play? And like, can it follow it up? Because I do feel like the play of Diggs and Bland kind of waned off the years after they had a lot of picks.
Well,
that's the concern.
This thing, they were not ever good corners. They just made a ton of interceptions.
And so, like, is that? Yeah, is that like? I do think this is I do think the fan base would be out of their gourd if Green Bay brought back Al Harris. I think they would be. And like,
if you asked like Packers Facebook, would you rather have Al Harris or Jimmy Leonard? That would be a funny poll.
They might combust.
Maybe just for engagement sake.
They might combust.
Dude, that would do numbers. That would do numbers. Oh my gosh. Especially if you didn't make it a poll. If you did one of those stupid like retweet for Al Harris, like for Jimmy Leonard. Do one of those. I might do that one. Packer Doug says Al Harris and Kurt Benkert are on the same plane. They seem like they would be great Madden coaches. Does it apply to the NFL? Kurt
banger.
Benkert doesn't know jack about football. He's an idiot. So no.
I don't understand the question about Benkert, and I will not respond to it. That's what I have on Benkert. I don't understand the question,
says,
and I will
I'm
not
a
respond.
Jim Leonard truther. Everybody loves Jim Leonard. I'm probably the only Packer fan who's like,
for me, the Benkert thing is, first off, why would he come here? He does not like Matt LaFleur. Why would he come here, for one? And for two, I will not respond to the rest of the question.
Here you go.
He
Jake.
was.
In your face, Benkert was in the NFL.
I didn't say anything about him being bad, to be fair. So why is it in my face? All I said was, I don't think he likes Matt, and I'm not going to respond to this. So, does Madden translate to the NFL? I mean, I don't know.
Dershel says, I heard Benkert was laughed at in the locker room by teammates. That I can believe. Based on some of the dumbass stuff he tweets and some of the clips that he posts on social media of himself talking about football, which would embarrass the heck out of me to post clips like that of myself saying the kind of stuff that he says sometimes. AFAM, Packers are getting close to the definition of insanity. On offense, I completely believe with you.
He's certainly sure of himself. That is a definite. He's got the entertainer part of content creation down.
You find him entertaining?
No, I didn't say that. I said he has it down. He knows what works in this creator economy.
I guess.
Which is not what I enjoy listening to or watching, but he has it down.
AFAM says Packers are getting close to the definition of insanity. So
if they bring back Raheem Morris, I mean, I don't think that's far off at all.
I feel like it's pretty good.
I think that's really on the nose, AFAM. If you
I love this comment.
That's really fun.
Packer Doug says, I'm here for Jake. You do that. I appreciate it.
That's messed up.
Listen, if you're here for Jake, there's a Venmo code up in the corner. Scan it and send $5 to Jake.
You're right.
All right? That's his personal Venmo. Send him $5. Send $5 to vote for Jake.
He'll never see
Send
this.
$3 to vote for JJ.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I think we have just one more name we got to get to, and then we need to do a mock draft before we hop off of here. So the Packers have scheduled an interview with former Arizona Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon. Couple of black marks for Mr. Gannon and a lot of people who will vouch for him. So black mark mostly, I guess, kind of pertains to the same incident, which was the Super Bowl that they lost, right? So in the week leading up to that Super Bowl,
he couldn't stop Corn Dog. I'm out.
Who's Corn Dog?
Corn Dog is the play they ran back to back to Tony and Sky Moore in that Super Bowl the Chiefs did. Can he defend Corn Dog? No, I'm out. See ya. We'll be seeing you.
Reason number 900 why I would be disqualified as the Packers defensive coordinator. I don't know what Corn Dog is. They'd say, how do you defend Corn Dog? I'd say, what now? Who's that? Who's Corn Dog? So in the week leading up to the Super Bowl that the Eagles lost to the Chiefs, Jonathan Gannon interviews with the Cardinals for their head coach vacancy. It's an impermissible contact period. The interview was not allowed by NFL rules, and as a result, the Cardinals and Eagles ended up doing a third-round pick swap to settle, right? To settle the difference.
Fantastic, babe.
Then the Eagles defense. Would you say they underperformed in that game? Would you say they underperformed? What was the final score of that game? What was that?
38.
That was absurd. Yeah. So they Eagles defense underperforms in that game.
Big defensive week before that. Did you know? Big week defensively before that. They hurt Purdy's elbow.
Yeah, the Niners did not score many points.
The Niners, they basically redefined the emergency quarterback stuff because of that game. So you got to toss that out for one, and then for two, dusted by the Chiefs.
So the brass in Philly were pretty pissed at Gannon because they felt like his focus that week was on the Cardinals and not on the Chiefs.
I think it was.
And they believed that that was a very large contributing factor to why they lost that Super Bowl. I think that's a fair assessment.
I would say their lack of defense did lose them the Super Bowl. Yes, I agree.
It's probably true.
I agree.
Gannon was a somewhat decent defensive coordinator. Apparently, per Nick Sirianni, Gannon is incredibly beloved by players, and also per Nick Sirianni, very respected around the NFL by other coaches. Here we go. He also he was mentored by Mike Zimmer, you may remember. So here's what Sirianni said. He said, "This guy is an incredible..."
What the philosophy is. But anyway, go ahead.
He said, this guy is an incredible coordinator. People love to play for him. Every time I hear criticism about Jonathan Gannon, I laugh to myself. As a matter of fact, coaches from other teams ask me, does Jonathan Gannon get crap here? I'm like, somehow, yeah. Like, this guy is incredible. I do want to know why. Why would other coaches from other teams ask you, does Jonathan Gannon get crap there? That's...
I don't know.
Why are people asking you that question?
The Sirianni quotes are just going in one ear, not the other. As someone who just very greatly respects Sirianni.
I'm trying to make a case for why we should not be mad that we're interviewing the guy.
Daryl's asking, I don't know if he's like asking this with 3 question marks because like, why would you bring him up? That might be what he's saying. Here I can tell you why. Mike Garafolo, as of 3 hours ago, the Packers are slated to interview former Arizona Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon for their defensive coordinator job this week. That might be why we're bringing him up. Just saying. So, and the Cowboys interviewed him today. Also, so.
Hey, if you like that Jeff Hafley quote, can I give you a Bill Huber quote? Not Jeff Hafley, Nick Sirianni. If you like that Nick Sirianni quote, can I give you?
I like Jeff Hafley quotes.
If you like that Nick Sirianni quote, can I give you a Bill Huber quote?
Okay. Yeah.
Two.
What? You look like me trying to say English towns on the stream. What's happening right now?
2-time All-Pro safety Budda Baker.
2-2.
By far, Arizona's best player over the last several years.
Okay, but he's like their only player.
Signed a contract extension with the Cardinals, in part because of the presence of Gannon.
I mean, yes. Can't confirm Budda Baker was one of the best players on the Cardinals. Might have been one of the only players on the Cardinals. In all seriousness, I do think actually the defensive
You could do worse.
The defensive backs have been pretty impressive. Like Garrett Williams, when he's been healthy, has actually been pretty impressive in Arizona. They kind of lucked into Will Johnson a little bit. So like, oh, Will Johnson's playing well as a rookie. Who could have foreseen this? But I do think like there are things that I think defensively he can do. He has. I think he would move Williams and McKinney around to give them favorable matchups defensively, pressure, coverage, all that stuff. Like I do think he would, and he was kind of doing that whole quarters thing quite a bit in Philly, right, as his tenure ended as well. So he's got kind of that background on top of Zimmer's of pressure plus match coverage. So there is, I mean, principle wise, like there is some credence to potentially bringing him in. He's not my top.
This, by the way, would be another 3-4 guy.
Right. So yeah, because if he's sticking to the Zimmer tree, yeah. So that is
well, and the Eagles during his time, obviously hybrid, like nickel was their base. Yeah. But it was a very Fangio system they're running. Interestingly, like before he was replaced by Fangio. Well, no, he wasn't because they had the year. Who started after Gannon left? Who was the guy who came in before they fired him and replaced him with?
Didn't they put him?
Patricia.
Didn't they put him on? They pseudo benched him.
Yeah, they benched their defensive coordinator for Matt Patricia.
Oh, Sean Desai. Yeah.
Sean Desai, Chicago Bears whiz. That dope. Can't believe
they essentially benched him.
Where's he right now? That guy has
I
always
have no clue. I have no clue.
That was an incredible promotion to Bears defensive coordinator. That was wild. I couldn't believe when they did it. I was like, what do they know that I don't know?
Yeah.
Daryl Azian wants to hire Cliff Kingsbury for our defensive coordinator vacancy. That's
that's funny.
It's bold. Funny. I'll give you that. It's bold. For anybody who can't remember what Cliff is known for, he's known as an offensive
RPO spread, creative stuff behind the line of scrimmage. That's cool. That works. That's helpful. Shot plays. I prefer what we're doing. Kingsbury. I don't know. Again, if they're bringing him in to be OC, I wouldn't let him touch the playbook. I'll be perfectly honest. I wouldn't let him touch the playbook.
I forgot. There's one more name we have to talk about, and we got to do it really quick though.
Yeah, I know. We got the mock draft
because we have to do a mock draft, and we're almost out of time. I have to go. Do you recognize this cat? This is Matthew.
Is this
Arujo?
Oh,
Matthew Arujo. He joined the Miami Dolphins as an assistant DB coach in 2022. Was promoted to cornerback coach in 2024. He's kind of a hot name being floated around right now for defensive coordinator vacancies. No reported interest yet from the Packers. But if there's one thing that the Dolphins have been kind of decent at the last couple of years, it has been DB. He's viewed as a kind of a rising star around the league.
Maybe toss an interview, see what you think.
I'm not very interested in hiring him, but his name is getting thrown around a lot.
Yeah, I think
Dershel says, "Is that a real name?" So his name is Matthew, but it's like the fancy Matthew. It's Mathieu, and his last name pronounced Arujo, Araujo. So there you go. Okay, we have to do a mock draft.
Yes. Must.
If we don't, the people are going to revolt, and I don't want the people to revolt. But while I'm pulling this up, let's say who our top three.
I pulled out the quad box also today at mock draft season on Twitter. I posted a quad box. Yeah. Of mocks.
Okay.
So we could also peek there at the end of ours to check those.
Do you have that pulled up? You want to just throw it up right now?
Yeah.
Look at it for fun before mock draft?
Yeah, sure.
Let's. Okay. So my top three would be Brian Flores, Christian Parker, and then I'm not really sure who my third would be.
The third is a tricky deal.
Because there's kind of a gap. I might go Durante Jones.
I think that's in the conversation.
I'm still slightly nervous. I guess I kind of feel about Durante Jones the way I felt about Christian Parker last time around, which was like I'd like to see him with a little more responsibility.
Yeah.
Like I said, I guess I wouldn't hate the Jim Leonard hire. You know, maybe he'd be kind of my de facto number 3, but like, I don't know. I just don't like Jim Leonard. Like the resume is fine. I can't use the resume as an argument anymore. It was a valid argument last time and the time before.
Yeah.
He's probably a fine hire this time around. He's probably my number 3, but it wouldn't make me happy the way Brian Flores, Christian Parker, those two would make me.
Those are my top 2 as well, for sure. Yeah, I think Durante Jones, Carl Scott, Leonard.
Oh yeah, Carl Scott.
Zach Orr, maybe you throw him into that like maybe 3rd tier after that one, like potentially.
Maybe Carl Scott's my 3rd.
Would you promote any Packers guys?
The only guy I would consider would be Ainsley. He's the only guy I would consider. I would not even consider anybody else. I think we might be in a situation in a second here where the defensive coaching cabinet is a little bit bare because Hafley's going to take at least one guy, maybe 2 with him. He's probably taking Sean Dugan. So we're going to have to replace linebacker. I'm a little surprised that Ainsley isn't garnering any interest, but also the fact that we had just horrific cornerback play this year probably hurts.
He was not dealt a nice hand in that department.
No, he was not.
Right?
No,
I think you keep him where he is and like say like, hey, like, you know, we're gonna refill the cupboard. We're gonna give you an opportunity to really elevate some new guys, bring in as the passing game coordinator under the new DC, and hopefully, you know, that work will elevate you to where we know you want to go. Right? So yeah, I think I would, again, Flores, Parker.
I might have Carl Scott and Jim Leonard as like number 3, but there's certainly a gap for me between Brian Flores, kind of a gap, Christian Parker, kind of a big gap, and then like Jimmy Leonard and Carl Scott are probably on about even footing with Durante.
Yep.
Maybe just a tick below them. DERAILED says hire Barry back. There, somebody put in the. I don't remember who said
that's what Morris is, by the way.
Somebody said hire Joe Barry back as a linebacker coach, and I'd be okay with that probably.
That's interesting.
And I think that's about the max anybody would
also.
But also, like, I mean, it's not like he ended on good terms here in Green Bay. I'm not sure that anybody in Green Bay would be like thrilled to have him back. All right, so looking at your mock draft here, Ahmad Moten, defensive lineman. You got an F grade for that from PFF, so suck that.
It's
Jacob Rodriguez.
He's a need, plus he's only 5 spots off the rankings, which is just a weird thing to do.
Yeah, but PFF doesn't think he's a need, right?
It's because he doesn't have an ADP yet. I'm pretty sure is why he's an F.
That's exactly why. Jacob Rodriguez, linebacker, Texas Tech. I love Jacob Rodriguez. He's a little old for me, but I do love him. I do want him. We probably really need him. He could come in and play Mike for us post-show. You got IGB in the 4th round at corner, Ohio State. Again, I still am on the island of I think IGB is going to be a better NFL corner than he was a college corner. He's big, he's fast, still needs some coaching. Cage Casey, Boise State tackle in the 5th round. Bryce Foster, Kansas center in the 6th round. By the way, there was some chatter. Oh, it was Ken Ingalls. Ken Ingalls posted that this is a bad year to need a center. And I just wanted to say, like, the data just kind of shows that you kind of get centers anywhere. All right. Kind of doesn't matter the round of the draft, and including undrafted free agency. Look at starting centers across the NFL over the last bunch of years. They kind of just come from everywhere. It's not that easy to identify who's going to be a good center in the NFL. There's some guys who are good centers in college who go on to be great in the NFL for sure. And like, I mean, we sure think that Jake Slaughter looks fantastic. Also,
Lou,
what's the guy's name? JPJ. Like, we love him. For sure there's guys, but also
Frazier's done great
just
in Pittsburgh.
Find him. Yeah. Like I just don't think that I would ever in my life look at an offensive line class and say, hey, you can find guards or tackles, but not centers here. I just don't like that's just not like a thing that I would ever say.
So just like off the top of my head, right? Humphrey, late second. Linderbaum was a first, yes. Bortolini was a fourth-round pick.
So much.
Drew Dahlman was a fourth-round pick. Atlanta got a ton out of him, and Chicago paid him a bunch, right?
This is a veritable who's who of all my favorite
JPJ and Frazier were round 2 guys, right? Aaron Brewer from Miami. I'm not sure if he was drafted. Had a phenomenal year in Miami.
I think he was UDFA.
So you can kind of do. Oh, you want to know who Seattle's center is right now? Do you know? Do you know who it is?
I'm not thinking of it, but the second you tell me, I'm going to.
So we loved this guy. Chris Jacobet talked a lot about him, as going through mock drafts this year. Jalen Sundell is their center. Jalen Sundell is their center right now in Seattle. Dude's a pulling machine. Okay. So we talked about him a bunch pre-draft, right? That's a guy we talked about a ton. So you can get these guys. And Foster, Coogan, Logan Jones, Lou, Slaughter. There are guys. Brian Parker is probably going to play there from Duke. He's probably playing center. Okay, they're going to move him inside from tackle. Just like they did with Barton, right? Yeah. So that's going to happen.
I'm not saying any of this to crap on Ken Ingles. I'm just
not sure I'm in agreement at the moment.
I'm trying to inform the dedicated, educated football fans who listen to our podcast that don't buy that narrative that it's a bad year to need a center. Yeah. There's not a bad.
You just don't know. You might actually be. You might be wrong. There are times where we think positions are not good and they turn out better than we think. And Corey Linsley was a 5th rounder, if I'm not mistaken, when Green Bay took him. So he was definitely a day 3 guy. And so it's doable to get center at any spot if you're good at scouting the position. And Packer Doug remembers Sundell. That was a big thing. We talked about that a lot. Green Bay had a lot of picks, and it was we just keep drafting this Sundell cat.
Yeah, and you loved him. We drafted him 10,000
times. Just kept drafting that guy. So that's, again, you can find centers. Maybe Monk's a possibility next year. That's fine. I had one more, JJ, actually, if we want to do it quick.
All right, we have 7 minutes. So
this is the one that everybody seemed to love. I was like, which of the 4 do you like the most? And it seemed like on Twitter, this was the one everybody was in.
Well, yeah, we're getting Justin Jefferson. I didn't realize he was still in college and we could still draft him. Heck yeah. In the 7th round.
Yeah, he played with Joe Burrow, and he's a draft pick. That's crazy.
Well, it's like that Indiana player playing with Trevor Lawrence.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So
exactly.
All right. So this is
the Indiana guy got boat raced by Jefferson and Burrow with Lawrence. That happens,
This is the greatest hits list for your current favorite people in this draft. You got defensive tackle out of Texas Tech, Lee Hunter, Arkansas corner Julian Neal, Indiana center Pat Coogan, Georgia tight end Oscar Delp, Wake tackle Fayalili Fayamoe, Stanford corner Colin Wright, Rutgers QB Ethan Kaliak-Manis, and Bama linebacker Justin Jefferson. I'm taking this off the screen because we have 6 minutes now to rip through this mock draft. Oh boy, I gotta make this narrower so it'll fit on our screen. Oh boy. Okay, there we go.
Can a rookie center impact an NFL team? When has it happened? Did Linsley not was Linsley not the starter? Year 1?
Yeah, he was.
Pick? Yeah, so Linsley was a 5th round pick. Started year 1. I mean, Humphrey was right away. I mean, obviously Myers played for Green Bay right away. Linderbaum was right away. Frazier was right away. So it has happened.
Drew says we have to be careful with IU players because a lot of them are older. Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, a lot of them actually
they're ready to play.
A lot of them have kids who are four-star recruits themselves in high school.
Amen.
Here we are in the 2nd round. Pick 52. Emmanuel McNeil Warren, safety out of Toledo, is available right here. And I know safety's not a need, but man, I am so tempted. I'm so tempted. Because you just got to draft good players when they're there. I'm so tempted.
Sorry? Who'd you want?
But D'Angelo Pons is right there.
Who did you want?
I said Emmanuel McKinney-Warren, the safety out of Toledo.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, man. Can I go D'Angelo Pons here in the second round for us? Can I go this route? Who do you want to go with? I know you want
3 corner.
I know you want Lee Hunter
or Moten.
God, Ahmad Moten.
Moten's ADP is 75. That's
Jadarian Price is right here.
Don't do this.
Trinidad Chambliss. Yeah. Hey, do you want an F? We could draft Max Clare.
Yeah, that's true. No, we could take. You want to take Pons?
Slaughter. Jake Slaughter. We're drafting Jake.
Everybody
Slaughter
wants
here.
the olds. They say Pons.
We never get him anymore.
You're not taking the olds. Disrespecting the guy who sent in the dodo, who wanted Pons all caps. We took Slaughter. Oh boy. Okay.
You know what, Dershel? For you.
You know what, Dershel?
For you.
I'll do the one.
No, Jake, look at the screen.
I'll do the Slaughter one. In
here, D'Angelo Pons.
I'll do the Slaughter.
We redid the draft for Dershel. We took D'Angelo Pons. And look, Jake Slaughter's right here.
Get a nice reward.
I win. I get both of them.
And we've been rewarded.
God does love me. Katron Allen.
Tight ends.
Right, we do need a tight end.
Tim Keenan. Timmy Keens.
I don't know, man.
Timmy Keens, we like that.
Bama's defense was just not that good.
Yeah, but Tim Keenan's a space eater, man.
Do you really want a defensive
talk
tackle
about a space eater
named Tim?
Yeah, because we can call him. His name is Timothy, and we could call him Himothy when he makes plays.
I'm sorry, man. That name does not pass the smell test.
It's good to me.
Armaj Reed Adams right here. I'm not doing it, but it'd be interesting.
Packers would draft Ted Hurst with a bullet. I'm telling you, brother.
3 more minutes to get through.
They would draft Ted Hurst, no question. Here we go. Adam Huddle's on
Raridan.
Adam Huddle's on the Sundell.
Well, here's the thing, Adam Huddle. I'm with you, but Sundell is not in this draft class. We can't draft him. Can't do it. It's not an option.
I think we can find a way. Should we take an edge rusher instead?
We can find a way to get him on the roster. We just can't draft him. The only thing we can't do is draft him.
You want to do Malachi Lawrence or oh my gosh, who's the cat I'm thinking of? Nadame Tucker. Is that his name? Yeah. I'm telling you, Ted Hurst with a bullet feels so on the nose. Go up just a smidge.
Malachi Lawrence, UCF.
Ted Hurst with a bullet sounds. Oh gosh, dude, they're gonna lose their minds. It's okay. Ted Hurst probably get picked before they even pick. So
barely 10% pressure rate.
Safety and slot though. That's the thing. He's played safety and slot. So
we need boundary corners bad. Malachi Lawrence at UCF. Here's the thing. He played at UCF, didn't play a fantastic schedule, and he's not really a pass rush guy.
Well, yeah.
Barely got a 10% pressure rate in college.
What about What about the 2025?
That is 2025.
No, you got 28 pressures, 24.
You're right.
But this he might have more pass rush.
40.
No.
All right, there we go. That's more like it.
Yeah.
That's more like it.
Yeah.
How big is he? They're estimating 6'4", 250. It's not terrible.
This is
40 on 228.
The best tweet I ever saw.
The
best college football playoff tweet was, "This is the first time ever a pond has betrayed a duck," when they were talking about the pick six in the semis.
Yeah.
I think Roger Sherman tweeted that. That was so good.
That's pretty good. So
good.
Packer Doug says we got to go center here. Drew reminds him we just took Jake Slaughter. Packer Doug says open up all O-line. Well, we did take D'Angelo Pons. So now Tack Davis is here. How do you feel about Tack Davis with our 4th rounder?
That's fine.
Tack Davis. I mean, who do you want to go? You want Katron Allen. I know that.
I think I want Ted Hurst.
Ted Hurst, where do you see him?
Yeah, I think I keep going just a little bit. Remember, we talked about Kilgore. He plays slot. Keep going.
No, I know. I just want to look at him.
Okay. Little further.
Thaddeus Dixon's a good name.
There he is.
That passes the smell test. Ted Hurst, wide receiver, Georgia State.
Look at this. 2.42
yards per route run.
Yeah, but look at the drop rate. That's our guy.
Guy's a Packers wide receiver right there. 9% drop rate. Holy heck.
Yep.
59% contested catch rate. That's the only thing he's good at. I'm not biting.
It's like Romeo Doubs. He drops the easy ones and then.
Do you like Harold Perkins? Linebacker at LSU?
No. No, he feels like Isaiah Simmons again. Where do we play him? What about Nadabe Tucker? Go a little higher.
Tucker.
Back.
Tucker. Nadabe Tucker, edge, Western Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh, another edge from Western Michigan.
Yes.
All right, let's look at this guy real quick.
Please.
This you might talk me into. Okay.
He's going to turn into a pumpkin.
There he is.
Beck was doing his best Stroud impression. That's elite. I love that. Beck was in 2025. Beck was pretty much he was doing an impression of most QBs.
61 on 316 attempts. He played against Michigan State. Had a good game there. He played against North Texas. They were decent this year. He had an okay game there. Played against Illinois. Played against Toledo.
Listen, Illinois ran away from him, though.
Didn't really play anybody else good this year. Now, he was at Houston last year.
They ran away from him.
Didn't really play. Actually, he didn't really play prior to coming to Western Michigan. So, couldn't really hack it at Houston. Went to Western Michigan, had himself a nice year. 6'3", 250. How about we wait around and see if he's still here around from now? He won't
be, but it's fine.
Now, we could go tight end. I really want to go corner.
Timmy Keens.
Run stop rate 3.6%. Oh, it's so late. I gotta go to bed. Here we
Timmy
go.
Keens. Timmy Keens or Raridon? You can take Raridon from Notre Dame. Want to take tight end?
Tackling grade.
Timmy Keens.
Come on, get over it. Can you scroll, please? Tackling. 3 missed tackles. There's the stops. 12 stops. I don't know.
You want to go tag Davis? We haven't done it. Go tag Davis.
He's played a lot of snaps the last 3 years at least.
Yep. You go tag Davis.
400 snaps each of the last 3 years.
Go tag
All right, Davis. I think I know what I'm doing.
Go tag Davis.
We're taking Tim Keenan.
Oh, you are? Okay.
We need defensive tackle help. Is our guy still here? Adame? He's not.
Delp is. So is Llewellyn. Oh,
we're taking Delp.
Right. I was gonna. Oh man, I should have said that because I had the late round tight end locked up. That's a shame.
Oh, Josh Moten.
We could go get Halton here too.
Halton.
Grayson Halton action.
Yeah.
So we get some bigs.
You know what? We're doing
Devin Moore next.
Devin Moore.
Yeah.
Devin Moore, cornerback out of Florida.
Devin Moore next. Devin Moore next for Adam Huddle.
Is that who he's asking for? Caleb Black looks like would be a lot of fun, he says.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Huddle says need 2 fats. Well, we got him for you.
Kalon Black? Kalon.
Oh, here. Adam Huddle says, did you guys see the giant Miami tackle kill Pons in the title game? So I have this
here. We're going to keep him away. We're going to keep him away from the tackles.
This is really good. Here's, where is it? Scrolling. I tweeted it today. Blah, 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 blah. Here it is. Warren Sharp. He says his life flashed before his eyes. Can I get that on here? Okay. Can you see it? Here we go.
All right, but okay. Okay.
Maui no, or no, that's not Maui Noah. Is that Maui?
Okay,
No. What's the left tackle's name?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I can't remember his name.
All
he's
I
like
know
not
is,
as good, but he's
listen,
6'9".
Listen.
He's a foot taller than D'Angelo Pons.
We need to talk about.
And you know what? He like barely pushes him either. Like he could have killed him.
Yeah. But listen, Pons had like so many great reps. He like avoided. He got a hit at the catch point last night where he avoided any chance of anybody even thinking about calling targeting. Flip to the shoulder, hit shoulder to shoulder. It was such a good. I'm trying to find it, and I think it's this. Yeah.
Hey, while you're looking, look, we have 3 picks left. I'm going to say this.
Devin Moore.
If somebody sends in a $10 dono on Venmo, I will stay awake for another mock draft. But otherwise, we got to do these last 3
so
picks.
We can hit that sleeper tight end.
We could go another tight end. Is there your tight end still here? Hold on. Let me see if I can figure out who it is. Tell me if he's not here.
No, he's always available late. I know he is here. Yep, he's here.
Matt Lauder just transferred from Boise State to. No, didn't he? I think I'm thinking of somebody else. Hold on. Dallin Bentley, RJ Merrill.
No, we're not going to take it. We got to take Devin Moore, but we can talk about him.
This dude has 2.03 yards per route run at tight end. That's not half bad. That's not half bad at all.
How big is he?
Is this your guy?
No.
6'4", 259. So slightly short for a tight end.
He might play in that. He might play in that state though.
Do you think? Did he just transfer?
No, he plays in the same state as Dallin Bentley.
Oh, so Carson.
Yeah.
So Carson, there you go. Nope. Again, 6'4".
That's fine.
Short tight ends. All tight ends are
sure
6'5", 250.
Almost positive Delp is 6'4".
Look, he's got the exact identical yards per route run as my other guy.
Yeah, but look at that run block.
So
look at the run block.
I don't like the way that they do this. I don't care about some of this crap. Run block grade 75.3. Let's look at our other guy.
Look at the run block.
All right. With one of our next two.
Yeah.
With one of our next two, we'll take this guy.
No. We took tight end.
What?
We took tight end.
We can take another tight end. We only have one tight end on the roster.
No. Have we taken one all lineman?
We took Jake Slaughter.
Yeah, that's one.
All right, let's go get a guard.
All right, Micah Morris.
See what guards are. Bryce Foster, Davion Carter. I like Davion Carter.
Micah Morris.
Micah Morris?
Mm-hmm.
Way down here. Where do you see him?
He was there.
Micah?
Go back down. Oh, it's fine. You fine.
Morris guard, Georgia. Pass block grade, way too good for the Packers. Run block grade.
Way too good for the Packers.
Way too good.
The run blocking is way too good. What are we doing?
6'4", 330. That guy has some
Belton, baby.
Redshirt senior.
Belton. Another Belton. We're cooking. We are in Ricardo Holman territory.
I'm good with it. Is Holman on here? Let's see who we got.
Holman's on there, yeah. He's like the last corner on there.
Stephen Hall.
I mean, if we're going to triple down at corner, it's the finishing into this draft is Devin Moore. Devin Moore, Micah Morris, and then Holman. There's your finish. Bam.
You know what? Screw it. We're doing it.
Cook.
We're doing it. Screw it.
Cook.
You said Micah.
Yeah.
Next. Okay, I'm taking Micah Morris, the guard. So we're going corner, guard, in the third round.
Unless you want like if Keelan Blackett running back's available, but like
Keelan Black. Yeah, for Dershel. Let's see.
No, he's not there.
Devin Maccabee.
He gone.
Wow, look at that zone grade and Devin Maccabee. Holy moly. He's their entire offense.
That's fine. We run in gap. I mean, Cass Jones is a sick name from Georgia to draft at. I mean, I'm not upset at the idea.
Ricardo Hallman.
Iowa Joe, Caden Wetchen's
What do you like about Ricardo Hallman?
I don't know why he's.
What the heck is this?
But look at 2023.
5'10", 2023. That's 3 years ago.
That's fine. This is the Wicks. This is a Wicks. Is it Wicks? The selection. Yes. We're banking on previous seasons. Is it Wicks? Yes.
2020. So 2 years ago. So he has played.
Cook.
He has played 1,300 snaps since then.
Cook. And has Wisconsin's coaching staff gotten better? May I ask?
Wisconsin doesn't have players.
Wisconsin. This is perfect. We're going to get him back to his 2023 self with Christian Parker, Durante Jones as the DC.
No, Jimmy Leonard.
No.
He's going to come in and coach up with Carl Hallman.
That just simply is not what I said. If Leonard gets hired, I do think Hallman becomes part of the plan, actually.
Probably does.
Cash Jones. We do have two interior linemen.
I have a
this is a Power 4 special. Whoa. IU, OU, 2 Gators, 2 Dogs.
How do you say that name? Wela Lapuaho. If you got who in your name,
Lapuaho.
I'm sorry, you don't pass the
Lapuaho.
Like the only Pooh name I can think of who panned out at all was Poona Ford, and he wasn't like.
Thank you, and yes, Devin Moore. Yeah, baby.
We took Devin Moore.
I know.
I'm not taking Ricardo Hallman. I'm not doing it.
All right. Can we take Cole Payton, weapon, or Cash Jones? 3 Dogs.
Cash Jones.
3 Dogs, 1 draft.
No,
this isn't good. Can we? You want it? If you want.
5'11"?
Devon Achan's 5'8", and they wanted to trade for him.
Yeah, I like the shorter running backs. I don't want a 5'11" running back.
You want them. Okay. Edge?
Yeah, we before I look at edge, let's
Mo
look
Westmoreland? All right.
I don't know.
Shout out to Pons not destroying the Miami tackle's knees. True.
Chat. Who's the chat want for this last pick? Packer Doug says Hallman might be cooked with all the snaps, if I'm honest. I mean, he's going to, I don't know. I think he just never was that good. Mo Westmoreland. You said you do like him from Tulane? So we're taking, did we take the Western Michigan guy? No, we didn't.
No. He's long gone. That's why I brought up edge, because we didn't do it.
Trying to pull this up here. It's going so slow. It takes forever to pull up this when we finally get their thing. Okay.
I know.
Let's go to the correct year. All right. Kind of just some green across the board. 17 pressures on 122 pass rush attempts. That's stinky. And at Tulane. Nope. I'm out.
All right.
That doesn't pass the smell test.
All right.
Might be a good run defender.
Keisean Crawford, Auburn.
Oh. Yeah. Let's look at him. Oh.
Jeez.
Okay. Keon. I'm just going to do this.
No, Drew. We want a running back like Devon Achan. Okay. That's what we're looking for nowadays.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a running back like what MarShawn Lloyd was at USC.
That's true.
Keisean Crawford, 43 pressures on 241 pass rush attempts. I don't mind this. Let me see here. Out of curiosity. So his best games came against Mercer, Ball State, Vanderbilt. His worst game came against Arkansas. Wasn't good against Bama. Bama has a okay offense. Oklahoma, Texas A&M. Has not played. I guess so. He was at Arkansas State. Played 600 snaps there in 23. You know what? For 7th round, I'm in. Let's do this.
Take a chance.
Chat. Oh, Dershel says quarterback. Okay, Keisean Crawford is where we're going if we don't find a QB. Because we do need a backup QB. Cole Payton. Do you like Cole Payton? I kind of like Cole Payton a little bit. I'm not an NDSU guy, but I kind of like what Cole Payton.
Yeah, it's hard to. It's kind of sick when the entire thing is dark blue.
I know.
like almost purple. Like almost purple. That's outrageous. Bro, but hold on.
Look at
hold on a minute.
If his rematch in week 30 or whatever this is here wasn't such a flop, he probably played like 5 snaps of the game. What?
No,
What's your hold on?
They got. Yeah, that's my problem. What happened? Why did you melt?
Look at Ethan's final game of the year against PSU.
I know, but
all right.
His best game. Wait, is that his best game?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Wow.
All right, chat. Ethan Kelly-McManus for Cole Payton.
Cole Payton.
This is our
Cole Payton to be our Taysom Hill. We're keeping him this time. Okay.
Checking the donos to see. Yep, nobody paid $10. So this will be our last pick here. You know what? I've always liked Ethan.
Unless you want a returner.
Ha! You think?
It didn't say. Hey, no, it's not about Goody. We're picking. You pick Pons. Goody's not picking Pons. He's small.
Which returner would you want?
Barryn Brown.
Barryn Brown.
Yep. Barryn Brown.
Barryn Brown, wide receiver, LSU.
Speed. I don't care about the no receiver stuff.
Here's what we're doing.
Let him return.
Why? Oh, it's because of the stinking spade game. Good special teams, kick returns. He made 15 returns for 455 yards. Holy crap! Look at that last game against Houston there. You can't see it, but that's 149 yards. On how many returns is that? A lot. Can't really see. Oops. Houston 2. Yeah, like I said, a lot. It looked like a 9. Long of 99. Well, that's where most of his yards came from then. For a touchdown, obviously. All right, the chat did not say whether they want Ethan.
I don't think they want the QBs. They're excited about Kyle McCord. So
they want Mo Westmoreland. All right, Jake, I'm going to leave it to you. Cole Payton, Ethan Kelly-McManus, or Mo Westmoreland. Pick one.
Those are the 3? I thought you wanted Crawford, not Westmoreland, right?
Oh, yeah, Kieran Crawford. Sorry.
Let's go Crawford.
Okay. There we go. Final pick, Kieran Crawford.
This is it just means like more draft, but Indiana's on top.
Yeah, it's a pretty South heavy.
But Indiana's SEC on top. Heavy. Indiana's on top.
Look, we got 2 Florida, 2 Georgia.
2 Dogs, 2 Betas.
But I do like Grayson Halton. I would say Grayson Halton's easily my favorite pick on here. But getting Pons and Slaughter to start the game, like you said, Goody's not taking Pons, but Pons and Slaughter, I think, are both going to be great in the NFL. And Goody's going to go, can't believe you idiots drafted them. Like, yeah, they're good, but they don't fit the right measurables. So there you go.
Pons and Slaughter, we are the Oregon Ducks enemy now.
See, look, Drew here is channeling Goody. He says we do not need a wide receiver. We're not talking about drafting that guy for Barryn Brown. We're not talking about him for wide receiver. We're talking about him for kick return.
Kicks.
But this is how Goody views it. All right, he's
probably going to run like 4-3.
Yeah,
so
because returner is not a position in his mind or Matt LaFleur's mind. It's a returner is a corner or running back or receiver who's useless as a starter. That's what they view it as. So I like this draft. I'm gonna post this draft. That's what I'm gonna do. It's a good one. All right.
You've done it again.
Fans, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was a really, really good time. I enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you, chat. Crushing it tonight. Very good stuff.
Thank you, Dershel, for your 7-hour early dono.
Yes.
You guys are the real ones. We appreciate you so muchly for being here with us. Thank you. Do be here with us next week to find out which of our favorite defensive coordinator candidates got hired away to other teams.
Yes. But hired Dwayne Ledford to be the O-line coach. Thanks. Thank you and good night.
Find out that Bisaccia and Steno are both staying. So be here for all that next week. Thank you. Man, we got a lot of people on the stream. I hate ending it right now because there's so many people on here, but I got to go to bed.
Or 3 hours.
I'm so behind on my sleep. We hit 3 hours. It's so funny when I talk to people who like haven't listened to my podcast, just people I meet, and somehow it comes up that I do podcasts and stuff, and they always want to know a little bit about the show, and somehow the length of the show always comes up. They're like, so how long do you usually go? I'm like, 2.5, 3 hours. They're like, what do you talk about for that long? Do people actually stay? I'm like, dude, a lot of the time when we end the stream, like the chat is still hopping and the numbers are like still climbing, and it's just how it is.
It's true.
The show is not for everybody, but we have a blast with it. We have a blast with you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Be here next week, and in the words of his beautifulness,
Irish Hammer.
Irish Hammer, the best player that the Packers have.
Best healthy one, probably.
He's going to be our defensive coordinator this year.
Ooh, count me in.
In his words, go Pack, go.